Sup nerds, welcome to the Omni4Game podcast. I am Sean and I'm joined with Brandon and Chris as always, and today's episode 12.
Alright, sup guys, today's Omni4Game podcast recap. We have our local recap as always. Sean goes over all his multi-cap shenanigans for the week. We talk about our least favorite formats. We talk about how we need better prize support in this card game. And then we have a surprise extra topic of the ban list, since that got announced recently. So if you guys like this, make sure you stick around, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you guys in this episode and all in the future.
Alright, locals recap.
I went X1 first round. It was 2-1. I played against Sean's Blue Hybrid. We did end up getting that redemption for losing really, really badly. The last time we played against each other.
I mean, we drew. You took an L in the comments, but we actually drew that match.
Yeah. So, I won that one. So the footage is gone.
Shout out.
Corrupted.
Yeah. Shout out to Uprising.
Yeah. Uprising, the guy who messages Sean during a tournament and said, don't forget to remind Brandon about his analog youth.
It's a good reminder.
Thanks,
you still forget them, so.
No, yeah. Thanks, guys. Really feeling the love. But don't worry, we got the dub. I think they were pretty competitive games with me and him.
Despite what Chris thinks about the matchup, yes.
I need to see more gameplay of it. You're right. I just don't have the experience with it with Blue Hybrid.
Well, also
that's why I want to see it.
You weren't playing Merciful mode. You need to be playing.
Yeah,
Merciful
I'm
mode
not playing.
Matchup.
Gotta put Merciful mode in. Yeah, you have to with that deck. You gotta be able to use. Yeah,
it was putting
I
in work.
agree.
And then you can just remove the Merciful mode, go back into your Mirage. It's so good.
Yeah.
So it was very competitive. He did misplay game one, but like Sean was saying earlier, I don't think it hugely impacted the game. Game two, he ended up clutching out, and then game three, I ended up clutching out. They were all very close, very competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Round two, I played against Machine Dramon, which was being played by Chris. And that was a 2-1. That one was actually way more difficult for me because game one, I absolutely stumbled into the worst misplay because I forget that one of Machine Dramon's...
It was not a misplay.
Okay, I didn't know it was optional. That was my thing. I didn't realize that Machine Dramon's protection effect optional. I thought it was mandatory. So he lets his Machine Dramon, or he lets his stack die. So it plays out another Machine Dramon and pulled the memory back by 5.
Yeah, played out the EX1 Machine Dramon.
So I walked into that face first like a dunce.
I remember I looked over and the memory was like 5 deep on Chris's side, and he was putting stuff underneath the EX1 Machine Dramon.
Brandon, I was setting... You want to know why?
Okay, but I could go out of my way and not walk into that? What happens the next 2 games?
That is such cool Machine Dramon thing. Me and Sean have literally talked about it. When we were like fanning out the deck, we were like, we both agreed, hey, we have to play this card and we got to play this card because it was Super Eradicator Cannon. I think it's called that. It's like the 2-cost one.
Something
you can
like that.
literally activate it. It's a 2-cost, and if my Machine Dramon's big enough, I'm blowing it up, or I can save it and blow up one of your Digimon. But then I can kill it, bring out the next machine. Brand is literally like the oldest of old school plays.
I get that. But did I ever walk into that face first, game 2 or 3?
He probably didn't have it set up.
No, duh.
Because I never played into it again. Had I not played into it game 1, it would have been different. But I played into it. That's a misplay on my part.
So,
I could have played around it.
So satisfying when I
My turn.
Game 2, I had to go. Yeah. Game 2, I had to be cracked out of my mind because he had like 3 analog mans on the board, and I knew he was setting up that same play.
I fumbled it.
Yeah, and I think he's gonna say he probably misplayed somewhere in there because Ben was watching us, and Ben was like, "Yeah, you definitely misplayed right there." So of course that's getting in his head. And then game 3 was like not competitive at all because he had to hard evo into chaos.
We had like 2 minutes. We had 2. You killed me in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. When you hard evoed into chaos, I was like, okay, this is my game. It's over. Sorry. GG's.
I also didn't have blockers and inheritable.
Nope.
Yeah.
So like he just murdered me. I was like, okay, we're gonna tie. And then he was just like, I'm like, no. Where's my security?
Go back.
I feel like that's a good matchup for Machine Dramon, but you just
It was.
If you can't set up, you're dead. Yeah.
yeah.
And then game 3, it was 1-2, this time to Ben. He was playing Vaccine again. And game 1, he had like 7 security. And I OTK'd him through all 7 of them. Double Chimera. Didn't even attack with one of my Fenriluga because he outed it like before I could even swing
The
with
Shadow Seraphi, I think.
it. Yeah. The Shadow Seraphi outed one of Fenriluga stacks. But because he had 2... one Magna Ace on the board, I was able to pop the stack, get more memory, and I was able to extend my turn like even further. And like double Chimeramon is just really good. It's so busted. Like swing with the Black Gato, the Black Gato dies. Swing with the Black Gato, the Black Gato dies. Evo and Fenriluga, play them both out. Swing. It was broken. And of course, those 2 lived. So you go into the Chimera, and it's just... Yeah, and then I got 2-0'd after that.
Look at me and Sean, utter disgust right now.
Yeah, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Mon. It's Yu-Gi-Oh! Mon the deck. Yeah, I got
Sean,
2-0'd after that.
are we sure Balmon's the problem and not Chimeramon?
There are
we can
several
talk about that
problems in
later.
that deck, but Balmon is, I think, the enabler of most of them.
Yeah. It just allows you to do stuff for free. And doing stuff for
The hell
free
with
is
it.
good.
Ban Black Gatomon.
Oh, God. Honestly. I mean,
Wouldn't surprise me.
Restrict one.
Put it to 1? Ooh.
I think Chimeramon's probably on the hit list.
Yeah. I was going to say Chimera.
I could see Chimeraman getting straight banned. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got 2-0'd after that because game 2 and 3, he saw multiple copies of Pillowmon, and I just hard lose to that.
Yeah, he plays 4. Get wrecked.
Yep.
We're
So
good.
I outed one with Chimera, blanket wiped his board, made sure none of the level 3s lived, and then he just goes, "All right, cool, my turn. Hard play another one." And I was like,
Yep.
"All right, you got it."
Pillamon's a
GG,
vaccine.
handshake. So feels bad. And then match 4, the final round, I played against Blue Flare.
I forgot Mario was playing that.
Yeah, he was playing Blue Flare this week. So I OTK'd him game 1, like really badly. It was like one of those like.
It was really funny. Really funny listening to. How does that do that? Wait, what is that? How are you doing that? How are you getting that?
I don't think.
I mean, those are all fair questions watching that deck pop off for the first time.
Yeah, I don't think it makes like. The deck just does so much so quickly, so fast. If you don't really know the deck, it's like, hold up, he spawns how many bodies?
Yeah, it's a lot of
He
reading.
gets to delete how many things? Yeah, it's a lot to take in. Game 2, he outpaced me. Like, it was just, he got like super like fast. Was able to like set up the male Birdramon. He was able to set up like everything super fast and was just able to not OTK me, but kill me before I could even like establish anything.
Yeah, if they see their good stuff early, they can kill you very quickly.
Yeah. So game 3 actually came down to the wire because I had just swung his last security and I had one more swing left. And of course I hit Sarai. It rips all the sources underneath my Fenriluga and makes it to where I can't swing for game. And I'm like, oh, I have to give him exactly 3 memory because I have Fenriluga on the board. And what's Blue Flare's main play? Remember, I have 1 security. It takes 3 memory. They hard play their dude. They give it rush.
You have 2 dudes on the field.
Yeah, I have more bodies on the board, so he can swing, unsuspend, swing, and I have 1 security, so I'm like, oh, okay, I've lost. So I have to give him 3, but turns out he didn't have the male Berger in hand.
Yeah, I looked at his hand, and it was just a bunch of dupes. He had like 3 of the good Metal Greymon, but like he just didn't have any of the good sources to put under it.
If he would have been able to set up his Tamer in that match, like had he had a turn to set it up, it would have been fine for him.
How does he not? You have like, if you count the blazing, if you count the blazing, you have like 8 targets.
He whiffed on the blazing.
Oh my god!
So you got like super lucky then, huh?
Yeah. So I did luck out and clutch out the final game, but I mean, is it really a clutch if you luck out?
There was none security either. How many cards did this man see?
Yeah, he had multiple Tamers in his
game,
hand. I think a lot of them were in his hand.
Yeah. He just didn't have a turn to play it. Because if he would have taken a turn to play it, I swing over and I'm just immediately in control. So it was just one of those games where I got lucky. He didn't have the one piece he needed. So
Yeah.
but hey, 3-1. We take that. I got top 4. We like that. I didn't get any good pricing for it, but
Good.
whatever. We'll talk about pricing later.
So I finished X1 as well. I got 4th, right behind Brandon. Round 1, I played Blue Flare. I played against Mario. I thought it would have been a bad matchup for me because if Blue Flare opens up fast enough, they can just chip me down before I can get a Machine Dramon established or an Analog Man established. But I maybe think with his inexperience against Machine Dramon, he didn't really understand it. He just couldn't kill me. Or I mean, game 1 definitely almost had me because he got the Metal Greymon out with the security attack +1 Greymon and chipped me down pretty early. But by the time that my turn came back around, Machine Dramon, Chaos, he Digivolved it, which really Blue Flare, Chaos X, and I've got like 2 or 3 Analog Mans on the board, so it's just like he was never really able to do anything about it. And I've played Blue Flare personally myself, so I know I don't want to have more than one body on the board. And I started trying to strip my sources, Chaos X would just shuck them back up. So my experience throughout the whole night was if I can win game 1, I'm probably winning the whole match because the games tend to take time. Because my Machine Dramon, if I don't have like security attack +1 or like reboot underneath him, I'm genuinely just not going to attack with him.
Slow game, yeah.
Yeah, like because there's no point because that's my body, that's my big boy, that's who I need on the board to protect me. So I end up beating him 2-0. Game 2 is also really close. He like chipped me down to like 2 security really quick before I could establish my board. And then round 2 I played Luga, I played Brandon, we already talked about that. I walked him into the dog beating that was game 1. I think if I remember correctly, the board state for game 2, I had a Chaos Dramon or a Chaos X on the board.
It was Chaos X, a Guard Dramon,
and a Guard Dramon because I was trying to put out blockers.
And you had EX1 Machine Dramon?
Well, that's where I think I messed up was the turn before I died, I ended up playing that and putting sources underneath them to try and establish another blocker on the board. Where what Ben was trying to say was I was at 3 memory because you put me to 1, but then I had 2 Analog Mans, discard draw, discard draw. So I went to 3. So you had a blocker on your board, and Brand's at 1 security. So the Guard Dramon, because I think it's EX1 Guard Dramon, he can't attack. He's a blocker, can't attack. So I had no way of killing him that turn with him having a blocker. So what Ben was trying to say, he suggested I do, was because I think I attacked over your Finra Lugamon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then so he was suggesting I Digivolve the Guard Dramon.
Is if you would have Digivolved the Guard Dramon, you would have passed turn. Because I had analog.
Yeah, because not only that, it was a lot of the level 5s for metal or Machine Dramon are 4 cost. Not all of them, but there's a good majority of them.
Yeah, most of the good ones are usually 4.
Yeah, because I think I put you to 2 memory because you attacked over the Fin, and I was just like analog, gain a memory.
I don't see, that was the thing though. Was like I think I was in a position where I was like, I don't think I could have had it, but Ben was saying if I Digivolve the Guardramon, and then attempt to attack for game, you'd have to block with your level 5, and then you wouldn't have the level 5 on the board to go into the next Finra Lugamon. But I just couldn't see what like how I could have done it, because I think you still could have gotten to it even if I wouldn't have done that or would have done it. I wish I could have wish I had like a camera and I could go back and just rewatch it. But
it is helpful.
So and then game 3, we had so little. I just thought, okay, we're just gonna tie 1-1, and then we started playing it out, and I just saw him establishing his stuff super quick. Because me and Brandon were brothers. We literally lived together and we've played with each other. Well, not like that, guys. Okay.
Pause.
Hey, calm down.
Pause.
We play Digimon together a lot, and we play so fast with each other, which can be like a disadvantage sometimes because I get into like a tunnel mode where I'm just like playing cards. I'm not even thinking about it.
We can just play against each other basically non-verbally, where it's just like, all right.
Yeah, and it's a bad habit for me too, because sometimes I play against my opponents like that, and I just won't call out triggers or effects or anything like that, because I'm in that mode where I'm just like, I'm playing cards and I'm just drawing and stuff like that. So like he just starts establishing the stuff, and I'm like, oh no, no.
It was at this moment he knew he messed up.
He literally killed me by like turn 3 or 4. I was dead. Like he was just swinging out everything, and it was all surviving, and I was just dead. So that got me. And then game 3, round 3 going in, I play against another Finner Luga deck, another good boy deck. I was playing against Mel's, and with the experience from Brandon, I knew, okay, let me make sure I do this. I gotta say, after just the 2 matches of playing, I think Machine Dramon, if your locals is just all Finra Lugamon and you don't want to play it, play Machine Dramon. Play Blue Hybrid, play one of those 2 decks.
I think Machine Dramon definitely has a better matchup.
Way better matchup.
Yeah, they have like a really...
If your locals doesn't have Blue Hybrid, definitely bring Machine Dramon.
Yeah, I got super lucky this week, dodging both Sean's Blue Hybrid and Solar's Hunters, because I just can't play Analog. Like, I still think it's a good matchup, but if Analog hits the board out of like security, you're just dead. Yep. Because they can't do anything.
DOA.
Because they just... Yeah. So round 3 I played against another Lugamon deck. Did the same thing game 1, established a big Machine Dramon, a couple Analog Mans, and he just can't do anything about it. It was so funny. So funny. He literally Death X'd me. And he's just like, you just see, he's like, yeah, Death X is at the board. I'll win this. And then I'm like, Death X is 15, right? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, Chaos X effect, absorb BT1, Metal Greymon from underneath. I'm just going to swing over that, trash your last security, and then I'm going to play this. I'm going to hard play Machine Dramon and attack you for game.
Attack of the Heavy Mobile or whatever.
Yeah. So like, it was just such a good feeling when they're just like, oh, okay, Machine Dramon just coming out of nowhere. Yeah, and then game 2, similar thing. Like, he tried to trip me down faster, but once you establish that big boy, it's just not. And then because I also sleeper really good card is the Metal Tyrannomon, the green black one.
Yeah.
Because again, if you can Analog Man him or block with him, and if it deletes that Digimon, they're losing a security on their turn, so they really have to think about what they want to do.
Yep.
And the FC Mon never really came up to level 3 from Reboot. I maybe came up once, but if I saw Dorumon, if I had both in my hand, I'm obviously going for the Doru because it's on memory. So
yeah, it's a way better level 3.
But the FC Mon allowed me to replace the level 5 that gives me 2000 DP during my opponent's turn with the new Metal Greymon from the starter deck that gives security attack +1. So
yeah,
and it also has blocker, which never
have you
came
just
up.
Considered maybe playing Floodgates instead?
I mean, you could, but
because doesn't Black have access to your opponent can't play Digimon through effects?
I don't think they do.
I don't think so.
I think it's just yellow, red, and green right now.
Oh, green has it? Oh, yeah, because it's Pomu, isn't it?
Yeah. I think they just have play cost reduction.
And memory gain, right?
Memory gain,
yeah.
And I think that's it.
I mean, the memory gain one's not terrible.
Yeah, but what are you playing that against that you feel good about?
You gotta play 15 5s. 13 to 15 the suggested number.
Yeah, playing Chumon versus a Lugamon player would never feel good because that's a body they can actually delete and unsuspend themselves.
Yeah, they can just delete it. Yeah. Well, I was gonna say it could slow them down to where they can't gain their memory off their inheritables, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
With the experience from Brandon, I was able to pull it out 2-0 against Mel. He pretty much decked out. Like, I was just like, I'm just not gonna do anything. You're gonna deck yourself out. Like, he was down to 2 cards, and I'm just like, you're gonna lose because he had gone through everything.
Yeah.
Like, he had cards in his hand, but nothing. Like, he couldn't Digivolve. He couldn't do anything because he just couldn't get over the stack. And then game 4,
the appropriate thing to do in that matchup as a Luga player is to go as wide as possible. Like, just go wide. Because, does Machine Dramon really have anything to clear out wide bodies? As long as you don't have a bunch of level 3s that are 3 cost, so they can't keep deleting it with your inheritables.
I mean, they could tech Crimson Blaze if they wanted to, but I don't know if
that was that was another thing was the McGee coming in really clutch, deleting analog use. That was nice. There was one moment where I like swung with it and I was like affect McGee and Bell started picking up the AG and I'm like, no. Analog.
Yeah, nice try.
Yeah, you just want to play that back? No.
Yeah, you just want to tuck it on your Lugomon for free? Yeah, no.
Yeah, get that for free?
So that was fun. And then round 4, I played against my favorite boy Caleb, playing his Kentaros deck, who was 2-1 at this point, which I was like, oh, Caleb, did I get down paired? What are you, 1-2 right now? He goes, I'm X1, and I'm like, no, you're not playing Kentaros. And then so I got super lucky, and in my list, I'm only playing 2 EX1 Machine Germons because that's really all you need. Like, you want to see and Chaos X way more. They're just better cards. And Caleb super unlucky. I saw EX1 Machine Germon super early in both games. Literally, I was like, black memory boost, flip, and I'm like, oh, EX1 Machine Germon. So once that got established, it was actually really close games. He did the whole Kentaros thing. He like showed me what's it called, their option card.
Odin's Breath?
Odin's, puts it on the top of his security, trashes it, like it's the turn before I could have killed him, and he's just like, all right, cool, and you don't have any security check or security attack. I'm like, draw for turn. I was like, Chaos X's effect. I was like, absorb Metal Greymon from trash for security attack +1. I was like, game he. I was like, darn, that was close. And I'm like, I love you, Caleb. And then I ripped. Game 2, I ripped the heavy mobile infantry or whatever that card's effect or name is. I ripped it off the top, checked his last security or last 2 security, I can't remember. Activated it, hard played Machine Germon, and then just swung for game. So that was really fun. Yeah, so I ended up getting 4th because Digimon's weird, and I'm pretty sure me and Brandon have gotten higher if Ben and Solar would have actually had a decisive winner.
Yeah, man. I think I would have gotten 2nd place. Looking at all the stats and stuff, I would have gotten 2nd.
Yeah, because your percentage and your opponent's win percentage were like crazy high.
Yeah, yours was really low for some reason, like 40%.
Dude, which is weird because I 2-0'd everyone except for you.
That impacts it.
Yeah,
It lowers your opponent's win percentage if you 2-0 them.
My win percentage was like 48%.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah, I didn't understand it. I was like, how's that possible? I 2-0'd everyone.
It goes by your win percentage, your opponent's win percentage, and then it's like your loss or your game loss percentage, and then
and Brandon's like showing. We're looking at it. We're looking at Brandon's win percentage was like 70%, and then his opponent's win percentage was like 60-something. We looked at mine; it was like 48%. I'm like,
it's like 40.
How?
So I was above, as far as like percentages go, I was above the person who got 2nd, which was Solar, and had they actually not drawn, I would have gotten 2nd, which would have been nice
because they gave them both a point. Gave them both 1 point.
So instead of being at 9 points and somebody being at 12, they were both at 10, so I was guaranteed 3rd, which...
Yep. And since I lost to Brandon, I got 4th.
Yeah. All right, Sean, so how'd yours go? Let's hear about all them blue hybrids.
So I played Blue Hybrid to try to get some content for the channel since the week I did bring it, my phone decided to break. I played against Lugomon round 1, and knowing that Lugomon is a deck, I replaced the 2 Full Moon Meteor, whatever they're called, options for 2 Merciful modes.
Very good card.
And it helped immensely versus both Lugomon players. Sadly, I lost to Brandon 1-2. I played against Greymon Toolbox round 2. That's a relatively easy matchup as long as you don't like play into
your opponent isn't scared of you.
Yeah, if you don't play into the raid, like the OTK raid, it's pretty easy. He did steal 1 game. He ended up having enough checks to where it didn't matter what I did. I couldn't like keep him from killing me the next turn. But I did win 2-1. Round 3, I played against Hunters. which is not a good matchup.
I wish Solar would put that deck down.
I think my issue.
If it keeps doing this good, I mean, why?
Yeah, I think my issue was I was evoing on top of my Zudamons a little too much. I should have just left my Zudamons as a top part of my stacks. Because every time he outed a Mirage, most of the time I had a Zood underneath it, so he just gained 3 memory for free. Whereas if it was the Zudamon being tucked somewhere, he wouldn't gain the memory.
He wouldn't gain it, yeah, because it's still on the board.
Yeah, it's still in the battle area.
He could evo on top of that Tamer if he put it on top of a Tamer.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have an inheritable, but yeah.
Well, I'm saying, like, you evo into a hybrid, swing with the hybrid dies, that's 3 memory gone right there.
Yeah, that also would suck, yes. But it would be better than immediately losing 3 memory.
Yeah, immediately, yeah. You could control it at that point. If you had Lanamon, you could give it jamming.
Anyways. So he 2-0'd me.
Lost that game like how the Patriots beat the Steelers.
Yeah, so he 2-0'd me, but game 2, it felt like I won the match in my heart because game 2 he got me to 0 security, and he had a rookie in raising, and I don't play blockers. Obviously, like there's not really a blocker you could play. And I had a Mirage, a level 4, and a rookie on the field. And he was like, at the beginning of his turn, he drew for turn, and he was like, any blockers? And I was like, nope. And he just turned his rookie sideways, and extended his handshake. He just stuck his hand out, and I looked at him for a moment, and I was like, okay. And I blasty voted a Zudamon, bounced the rookie back to his hand, gained a memory, and then he couldn't kill me that turn, but he unfortunately still won like 2 turns later. But that in my heart made me feel like I was the real winner.
I mean, that's like pretty up there. That's like up there with the unfortunately lost footage of the infinite combo with Mirage.
Oh yeah, the going infinite. Skipping
really
my opponent's turn. Yeah.
Would have lived.
Yeah, really sad about that. But yeah, extend handshake into Blast Ace for not game. Pretty funny.
Pretty good.
I was laughing about it the rest of the night.
It is. The thing is that our locals, you just don't see it a whole lot because of what's being played. Like we have a bunch of Luga players. We have Solar who only plays Hunters. The vaccine, or Ben's playing vaccine.
Yeah,
but
Ben's the only person playing vaccine, which is one of the only decks that plays like 4 ace cards in it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I haven't.
Hybrid,
I play Blue Hybrid. This is the second week I played it, and the first one was like a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So it's like I'm not surprised. Like some people just forget.
Yeah.
It definitely happens.
So yeah, that honestly, like, that was the best 2-0 I've ever had, like I've ever experienced, like being 2-0, just because of how good that felt. But and then round 4, I played against Lugamon again. Merciful mode put in quite a bit of work in that matchup, and also if you can get them locked down with both of your Floodgate rookies and a Mirage on the field, they have a really hard time doing anything to you.
Yeah.
How early do you tend to merciful mode? Like how long do you wait until you do it?
Honestly,
basically as soon as I'm able to go into Mirage, I merciful mode them if they have setup in their trash. If they don't, I wait.
Yeah.
But I probably won't go into Mirage at that point unless I'm trying to like set up a lethal turn on the following turn or something. Just because I don't want them to Hell Luga my Mirage.
Right.
Because I only play 3, so like I need to see the level 6 and merciful mode in order to do it. But yeah, I think he. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say playing around the merciful mode was legitimately very difficult because he was just like, yeah, bot deck all your Black Gatos, and I was like, sick.
Yeah, all these combo cards. Please put them at the bottom of your deck. I'll leave the trainings in the trash.
Yeah, the training stayed.
Yeah. He merciful moded me, or not merciful. He dropped Death X on me. I think both games, but it didn't matter because merciful mode just immediately outs it.
Yep.
Which is really cool. And I on the final turn that I had, I ended up 2-0ing him on my last turn on game 2. I ended up having 2 Mirages on the field. I evoed into the second Mirage to add I was trying to play around security bomb, so I was like forcing him to put a security back into his hand like that whole game. I ended up even going to second Mirage with the first one on the field, put his like second to last security back in his hand and gained like 8 memory off of it, and then swung out for game. Yeah,
feels good. Mirage, very good card.
Yeah, it's not as bad of a matchup as Chris thinks it is for Blue Hybrid. You just have to. You can't be patient. That's the one thing. Yeah. Like if you sit there and chill, they're gonna kill you.
And play Merciful Mode. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Play Merciful Mode.
Merciful Mode's a good
card. I feel
card.
like Merciful Mode.
If you're playing a deck in this format that has access to it, which is like 4 colors.
Yeah, 4 colors.
And you have rampant Lugamon players, play Merciful Mode.
Yeah,
it's so cheap too. It's like $1. Pick it up. Come on.
Yeah, because
play Machinedramon.
It literally locks them out of being able to out your level 7 for the turn because they can't Haluga level 7, and if you put all their combo pieces back in their bottom of their deck, they can't Finraluga you either. So like it's literally your stack is just safe for the whole turn.
Heck, play Machinedramon with Merciful Mode in it.
I actually think that's a good tech because otherwise Machinedramon just kind of hard loses to Yellow Vaccine because Angemon just outs your stack for free because they're all viruses. I think you should probably consider playing like maybe 2 Mercifuls in that list.
Which would suck.
You have an issue? You have a problem? This format? Merciful Mode.
Merciful Mode.
That's right. Vanilla Ice.
Yes.
Got a problem, you all solve it.
Merciful Mode for life.
Yeah, so I came in like whatever. I ended up 2-2, but...
Yeah.
So what you're saying is Omni4Game.
I mean, it effectively ended the game a few times when I went into it, because especially if they've gone through like all of their analog youths and stuff, like they don't have a good way of setting their trash up anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they are gonna move real slow.
Yeah, your missed mem boost is like your best option after that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they've used a good amount of those, you basically just end the game because they have no way of setting up their stuff to like turbo combo you.
Yes.
Multi-cup.
All right, so I played in this weekend's Ultimate Cups, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday I played Greymon Tribal, and I got dunked on by every blue Gomamon, Yukomon, Rookie Rush strategy I played, which I think was like 3 of them. Jesus. And yeah, it's a very popular pick for the Ulti Cup.
It's blue, of course it is.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Because so I think all of them were running Shogun Gekomon, and
got to. So we talked about it when we were reviewing the set. Shogun Gekomon is like a 5 out of 5. That card is so good in just that isolated format.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
especially for pre-release, like anything like that with a limited card pool, it was super good.
Yeah, with limited removal, it's super broken. So.
Yep.
I can't remember what round it was, round 2 or round 3. I played against the first blue Rookie Rush player that put it on the field versus me. He evoed into it like his 3rd turn, I think. And as soon as he went into it, he had Otamamon underneath it to like strip sources when your opponent attacks. As soon as he went into it, I knew I could not out it if he just played correctly, never suspended it. And I just lost to that card. Like, I didn't lose to anything else. I just lost to that card. And he did it again in game 2. So we only had 128 players in that Ultimate Cup. So I didn't drop. So I just took my beatings. Yeah, I took my L's.
Oh, how do you feel like that deck would do outside of Ulti Cup?
The Rookie Rush deck?
Gomamon deck. The Gomamon deck.
Oh, Goma, yeah.
Pretty poorly versus most strategies because there's removal in pretty much every meta deck. That's pretty easy to access. The strength of that deck in a limited format like this is there's not that many good removal cards.
Yeah.
Like there is removal.
Best removal is like Hell Luger and Pummel Whack. That's what you got.
Yeah. So I ended up not dropping because it was a free Gilmon if you didn't drop. So like I ended up playing out like it was either 6 or 7 rounds. I can't remember. I finished like X3, I think. I'm not 100% sure. I wasn't.
So positive over 50.
I don't think I was 4-3. I think I had a losing record. It was either even or losing, but I don't remember for sure because I wasn't keeping track because I was just like, I don't want to be here, but like I still want to figure out what else I don't like about what I did with this deck for tomorrow. Right. So after the tournament was over, Ben also played in that Ultimate Cup. He got top 8.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, he got top 8.
And Saturdays.
Yeah, he got top 8 in Saturdays. He also
Hell
got
yeah,
top
way to
8 in the weekend prior's Ultimate Cup. So he got 2 top 8s in a row playing the same deck card for card. Playing Yellow Vaccine, which I'm going to get a deck profile of that for the channel.
I easily. Josh was asking this the other day because we bring up Ben so much on the podcast. He's like, "Is Ben just the best player at your locals?" I was like, "Yeah, it's definitely Ben, and then probably like Sean, and then the rest of us are like, you can like probably order a couple of us in any order, but like Ben and you, I think definitely play the most.
It's a pure experience factor. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys just play. Like I wish me and Brandon work overnights so we could be in more of
Playing
these
the
Ultimate
big
Cup tournaments.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they
then
always start super early, and it's just like I can't spend a whole day on that.
Yeah, a couple tournaments, like online tournaments I have entered and played here at the house, like it's literally an all day thing for me, and then I have to sleep, and my whole sleep schedule is ruined.
Yeah. It's the whole thing.
But so yeah, way to go, Ben, and again 8th back week to week. That's cool.
And then so after the tournament was over, because it finished early enough, me and Ben, I was thrown together like a Greymon tribal list that I liked after playing out that tournament, and we tested a little bit in the sim, and I was testing other strategies. I was like trying to build like some kind of jank security control and stuff like that, but we realized quickly that was not a good call.
Yeah, not viable.
Yeah.
Dude, what kind of security bombs would you have?
Yeah, I was gonna say security control's not good when you don't have any security bombs.
You have like, depending on how many colors you want to play, there's Pummel Whack, or there's Baldy Blow, Cocytus Breath, Ultimate Flare, and that's basically it as far as like actual bombs.
Ultimate Flare. I forgot it was in Reboot, wasn't it?
Yep. So we realized that wasn't a viable strategy. So I started working on my Greymon list and went back and forth with Ben a little bit just on theory. This was after we were overplaying for the day, so we stopped testing.
Did you not play like Yellow Vaccine at all? Like, does that deck just not interest you?
Not really. I considered. I was like, yo, Ben, just send me your list. I might just card for card it for tomorrow.
Just card for card it, yeah.
And he was like, he's like, do you have the Gatomons? Because he's playing the movie promo Gatomons. And I was like, I don't have that card, so like I can't. And he was like, you have the movie promo Patamons though. And I was like, yeah, but that's like not the same. Like that's
worst card. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Gatomon having barrier is actually really good because you can just have it standing on your field and your opponent can't swing over it. So like you can always threaten an ace, which is really strong.
Yeah, that's actually very good.
Yeah, it was really annoying because the only removal in my Greymon tribal deck is my raid war Greymon. Yeah, the BT14 secret and metal Greymon ace. I was also playing that card. So we went back and forth. We ended up coming to an agreement on a list, and I submitted it. And I added a whole bunch of extra removal. So like previously, my removal was 4 Metal Greymon aces. And then my 4 secret War Greymons. That was my removal in Saturday's list. The reason why I was playing Metal Greymon Ace is because there's no level 4 in the format.
Because you have to.
Yeah, well, you don't have to. There's other Metal Greymons or Greymon level 5s you can play. But there's no level 4 in the format that's bigger than 6k. So you can immediately play around all your opponent's Ace cards by just going into Metal Greymon Ace before you start swinging. So I left the 4 Metal Greymon Aces, but I added a whole bunch of extra removal. Like I put in 2 of the Mega Flame, the 4-cost option from BT14, and then 2 Ultimate Flares. I put in a lot of black cards to allow me to play Ultimate Flare consistently. Like I took out the Security Attack Taikamiya and put in the Starter Deck Taikamiya. And then I put in everything from the starter deck from the Greymon line except for starter deck Agumon. Just because my level 4s besides the starter deck Greymon were all red, so I couldn't evo on top of the starter deck Agumon.
Right.
Starter deck Greymon put in so much work. It was checked in security constantly, playing Tamers for free, playing dudes for free.
Free real estate.
Mm-hmm. Also, it Metal Greymon, both of those two just natively having blocker was amazing versus the Rookie Rush strats.
Yep.
And I was also playing 2 War Greymon Ace, which also put in a lot of work because it's either a double blocker, essentially, if you at least have 1 security, or a double swing on your turn. And I swung with it a couple times when it had 2 or 3 checks and just like cleared up my opponent's security. And also,
and I bet you that Ultimate Flare put in work against those Shogun Gekomons too.
It did. It put in quite a bit of work because even if they have like Gomamon underneath it, the Gomamon can't play itself back out because you de-evo it and then pop the Gomo.
It's going back
Then it
to
dies.
Gomamon.
And then the Mega Flame also put in tons of work because like I would out their small body if they had something else on the field and just Mega Flame their big stack, and they're just like super far behind at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the blockers and stuff put in tons of work. I ended up going 6-2. No, hold on. Not 6-2. LOL.
I'm holding on to my chair.
I played. I went 4-2.
Oh, okay.
My matchups were I played against Gamamon Tribal, the Gamamon dinosaur dude, round 1.
Little Tricera boy.
And thankfully, that was one of the decks that Ben queued up when we started testing after Saturday. So I knew exactly how to play around it, which helped immensely because that deck is kind of wild. If you don't know what you're playing around, they can just like nuke your stacks and stuff.
Yeah,
I'm surprised that deck doesn't do. How is that deck not doing better? It has everything, right? Like
it doesn't.
Protection.
It doesn't have the BT8
protection
support.
Okay.
It doesn't have protection, but it doesn't have the BT8 support, so it doesn't have retaliation.
Oh, okay.
But that's.
I thought maybe some of that stuff was in reboot, but I guess not.
A couple of things got like the Blitz Gamamon is like legal, but that's basically it as far as like the older support. It's still a really strong deck. I think it's underrepresented considering how strong it is, but thankfully because I tested against it literally the night before, I knew exactly what to do. So I ended up winning that 2-1. Round 2, I played against the blue Gomamon Rookie Rush deck. I made a slight error game 1, which I don't know for sure if it cost me the game, but it definitely didn't help. And then whiffed on level 4's game 2 and just got 2-0'd quickly. So I was like, dang, this again. But it did not feel like I just got stomped. Because game 1, like, he had to work really hard for it. Because I had like 4 dudes on the field that had blocker. Like, he wasn't just like getting free checks and stuff. Round 3, I played against Agumon Rookie Rush. It was literally like oops all Agumons. And like he was playing like the security attack +1 Greymon promo. He was playing Secret War Greymon to warp on top of the Agumon.
Okay.
All my removal helped a lot in that matchup, as well as having blocker at every level. Ended up 2-0ing him. Played against Gomamon Tribal again, the Gomamon Rookie Rush strat. 2-0'd him.
Is that the one that's also playing Ukamon?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Josh just bought all those cards. I think he's going to try and build something like that.
Well, it's not going to be as successful in standard format, but he can give it a shot.
He wants to go back to
good old
years
ago
and play Rookie Rush. And you know what? I hope it's successful. I hope it works out for him.
Let me know the week he's coming. I'll put in 4 Crimson Blaze.
By the way,
show him when it's not a deck anymore.
By the way, those cards looked fake. They're like the Deal Boromon Ace. They look bad.
I know. I got all of them because I got them with my case. It's like they're all commons.
Trial deck cards. They just feel like they're made of the worst card stock.
They're very flimsy feeling.
Yeah, feels bad.
Round 5, I played against Digipolice. I won game 1, and then games 2 and 3 he won. He ended up beating me 2-1. He got to the point where once they swarm, like if they get a Brigadramon effect off, you basically already lost at that point if you don't have like something established already. And I think
then they have a lot of blockers.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. Like at that point, they just have too many dudes. Like I can't protect myself.
Right. Bodies, yeah. It's not like you can Death X their field or anything.
Yeah, unfortunately. I think my mistake that matchup was being too greedy with my ultimate flares, because I had ultimate flare in my hand. I think both games 2 and 3, but I was like trying to save it for like when it would be more impactful. But I think that was a huge mistake because it allowed his stack to like go up into Brigadramon and then like poop out a bunch of dudes, and I was super far behind from that point. And then round 6, I played against the Blue Gomamon Ricky Rush strat again. So I played it 3 times, 2 days in a row, and I 2-0'd that guy as well. Because having blockers at every level and blast evos and stuff like that, there's nothing he could do. I actually game 2, I basically got him down. Like, he got me to 0 security, but I got him down to where he only had like 2 cards in hand because I just kept playing my metal aces and like my removal options and just killing everything he had and just having blockers set up, and he just ran out of cards in his hand. And then
that was always a problem playing with Rookie Rush, is you could run out of resources if you don't kill fast enough.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I was trying to do. And I just set up a wide board of blockers and didn't swing into security until the turn I killed him. So I went 4-2 and I came in 23rd. So I got top 32, which was pretty cool.
Yay.
Love that prizing.
My 2 losses both came in top 16. So they both did really well. So I didn't feel bad about losing to those guys. And Ben went X11 and came in 18th. So he didn't come in top 8 3 consecutive tournaments in a row. So what a loser, Ben. God, dude.
You're telling me, hold on, you're telling me Ben went into time in one of those and drew? No.
What?
He went in, he drew, I think he drew all 3 tournaments once.
No, not Ben.
I mean, he's playing a stall strategy against a certain other strat. So like,
Ben thinks out his plays. He is very methodical.
Very
meticulous.
Every time I play, I see the
wheels turning.
Yeah, no, like that. The GIF go by where like it's from The Hangover, and he's sitting there doing all the math in his head, and I'm just like looking at Ben.
He's doing all the math.
He's about to sit down at the blackjack table.
And he's just taking the memory counter. He's like,
Yeah, he's a very, very technical and deliberate player, which sometimes bites him in the butt when he's playing decks that can't close out games quick enough. But that deck can be aggro if they see the right part of their deck.
I can see why he'd have good success with the yellow vaccine deck if he's running into a lot of those blue Rookie Rush decks, because he can just remove their cards.
Yeah, it's like a free win because he can out recover their aggression and just kill all their dudes, and they just can't win.
Yep.
It'd be like
hard locked out.
Yeah, like he doesn't even need to play blockers because it just doesn't matter because he can just out recover.
Like Magna Ace and Serapimon exist. Like, come on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just having like a generic, basically neg 7k is really strong against that.
Yeah, but that was a fun format. The January LT Cups are going to be basically the same format, except we're going to have access to the limited pack cards. And the X5, yeah, the X5 and the limited pack cards. So it's definitely going to be.
So we're gonna have Zubamon.
We're gonna have Zubamon and Secret Rare Black War Gray. Don't think I'm not gonna try to do that.
What if they hit it? What if they're like, no?
Oh, this card is good for black decks. Take it out.
They're not gonna hit that card.
No.
If they do,
So I think this was a good transition, since you got to play in Ulti Cups, to my topic of, does Bandai need better prizing? Sean, you've played the most Ultimate Cups. Do you think with how you've played well in some of these, like that top 8, would you at least like your entry back?
Actual cash prizes? That'd be pretty cool. So I came in top 8, and like I'm pretty sure it was the first Ulti Cup of the season back in like March, and I got the Gallantmon and everything below it, but the Gallantmon at the time was like $1,000, but I could not sell it for like months. It was so hard to offload. I ended up selling it for like less than $300 like a month ago maybe. So like an actual cash prize would have been pretty cool. I don't think, I mean, let's
just more incentive to play.
There's only so many Guillaumons and Agumons and Gallantmons and War Greymons they can give us before it's like, okay, we need something more than this. Like, it would be nice, because I think more people would sign up and play if there was actual incentive to play.
Yeah, like the Ultimate Cups, I think the incentive is there, at least for me, because you can sell the prize cards, like there's some value there. But if we had actual cash prizes, like I just pulled up my calculator, $30 entry times 512 players, that's over $15,000
Yep.
just from the tournament. And obviously
They're basically pocketing that.
there's no overhead because it's online. Like they don't have to rent a venue. They don't have to pay. Like I guess the judges are getting compensated, but they're probably just getting judge packs and stuff. Maybe
those things are not worth it,
bro. When I say COVID was the best and worst thing to happen for like businesses, because then everyone's like, "What? We don't have to go into the office. We could just do everything like what we're doing right here.
Just save
just
money.
do it over the camera." Yeah, like there's why spend thousands of dollars renting out a room and then having to pay people to come down there and judge for us and set up tables and do all this stuff? Like, why do that when we can just have them play at home? Like, duh.
Yeah.
Like, so like why is the pricing not better? Like, I know a lot of card games, like Yu-Gi-Oh is real bad about it too, right? Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't do cash prizes, right?
Yeah, they were
Because
like,
they're
here's
considered like a
electronics.
kids. They're like a kid's card game, so they're like, oh,
Yeah.
Pokemon's the same. Pokemon's really bad about it because they're a kid's game, so they can't give cash prizes to children.
I think Pokemon actually recently moved to cash prizes, but it took them like forever. But yeah, even Pokemon does cash prizes now.
Okay, and you had a good example, like Battle Spirits, right? You want to talk about that?
Yeah, like Battle Spirits, like you can actually win like legit cash prizes for like winning tournaments and that, but like that's no more an adult card game than the game we play. Like it doesn't matter who it's targeted at. It's like the player base is our age.
Yeah, like we literally have so many tournaments going on, and they're making all this money off of it. I just feel like there should be more incentive to be in this like competitive scene, because it just feels like right now all you're getting is just more shiny pieces of cardboard, which, don't get me wrong, is nice, but I feel like more would definitely be it would go a long way.
Yes,
at least your entry back. Like I think top 32 should at least get their entry back,
bare minimum.
That would be nice. Like obviously if you're able to sell the stuff that you get, like you do get a little bit of money, but like that requires you to like go through the selling process.
Yeah,
which not some people just don't do, and they just have shiny cardboard. They're just sitting in their stuff bin, and they're just like working on collections of whatever. Like Ben was talking about going into Sunday to try to get the a full playset of Gallantmons, because he top 8'd an Ultimate Cup like a month or two ago, I think. So like he's gonna have 3 Gallantmons once he gets the 2 that he won.
Yeah, see, like,
do we know what the next like prize, like top card is gonna be? Like, because I know they've been going through like
for Ultimate Cups.
Tags. Yeah, like after Gallantmon's finally retired.
After Gallantmon gets retired, I'm pretty sure it's red hybrid stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
I was gonna say, my apologies. I only said Guilmon and Agumon. I meant to also say Vmon. There's only so many of those 3 cards.
That's true.
Those 3 cards,
the Vmon.
Like, sorry,
line.
Dan Vang. I'm sorry. Okay, there's only so many Vmons we want. Okay, like Jesus, stop voting on it.
Yeah, chill.
I'll take some red hybrid stuff. That's nice.
Okay, well, you have to enter and play in those tournaments or pay top dollar to get those cards. So
you mean like the event pack Gravity Crush, which is definitely still going for $20? What?
It's just crazy. Like, maybe Bandai, if we stopped cannibalizing our players, we could focus on maybe 1 game, like 2 or 3 games, and then you could give out better pricing, and we could have more in-person events. Because guess what? In-person events are awesome and fun too.
That was really fun. When we went to Atlanta, that was top tier.
Yep, that's the only one we've had even within 6 hours of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one was really fun. We had a lot of players for that too.
It was like 350 people. It was great. Do more.
Yeah.
We want more. We'll pay.
And so we had 128 players Saturday, and we had like 130-ish start the day on Sunday. Those are 512 cap events. So like if we had cash prizes, I guarantee that would have been capped.
Yep. Oh yeah, for sure. People would show up.
Yeah, but people just like the format is really jank. Like it feels kind of like a pre-release.
It just feels like
which some people don't like you guys clearly don't like pre-release formats, but
I don't mind. I like pre-release. Chris is the hater.
Brandon likes. I don't like it. I know the commenters are saying that's how you really test someone's mettle. Okay, well, pre-release format gets me bummed out because guess what? If let's say, for example, Sean opened his packs and he pulls Shogun Gekomons and I don't, like, what am I supposed to do? I just lose.
you play the cards you were dealt. You can outplay better cards.
Yeah. Listen.
Oh, let me open my
Hear me
packs. I opened up 1 Tama. My opponent opened up 4. Guess what I'm never doing? I'm never drawing for Digivolving into my
That was
Tama,
honestly
okay?
the biggest feels
So
bad for
And I'm at
pre-release.
a humongous... Please tell me how you can build your deck out of that. Oh, let me hard play everything from my hand, giving you so much memory every turn.
Yeah.
You're just
You
over
get to
here-
play a rookie in
hanging
your
out.
raising area for free during your breeding phase.
But you don't draw.
Yeah, but you're not
you
drawing
don't
for
draw.
Oh my god, you missed 1 draw. I hate it for you.
Well,
You're
technically,
telling-
you're missing like 2
No,
because what you're going to end up
I don't-
doing is you're going to Evo in the raising.
I
Evo.
don't want to
And
hear
then you
this
can
from
Evo,
Sean.
and yeah, you're just not getting it.
I don't want to hear this from Sean because me and him agree that card advantage is so important. And you're saying, oh, it's just 1 card. Okay, that's 1 more card than you have than me. Digging
Card
through your deck
advantage. Card advantage is not paramount in our game. It's paramount in Yu-Gi-Oh, but not our game.
Wow, Yu-Gi-Oh is who
Well,
gets
just like
to
the more
their
cards you see,
hand
the more
trap.
options you have.
Yu-Gi-Oh, your resource engine is the cards in hand. That's why it's so important in that game. But
Yeah.
in our game, that's not like the end of the world because of the
whenever I
memory
was-
gauge.
In this last pre-release tournament, that's what I was doing because I only had the 1 Tama, so I was hard playing Marine Devimon because my opponents were like, haha, let me swarm the board with a bunch of small bodies, and I was like, put them back in your hand.
There you go. That's counterplay.
Yeah.
And then,
Just
okay,
like-
so Sean, that's what I want you to do. Whatever deck you play this week, just put 1 Tama in. That's all you're allowed to play.
Well, no, because it's in pre-release.
Yeah,
you
it's
can't put it in
different.
the-
It's different when it's
that's
not
okay.
pre-release. When it's a jank
Around it.
format, you can get away with stuff like
Around
that. I was playing
No,
four
no, you
Metal
legitimately-
Greymon Aces,
Get off the right,
2 War
get off
Greymon
topic.
Aces. I was playing
no.
Mega Flame unironically in my Greymon Tribal deck in Ulti Cup
Unironically.
format. It is different when you're playing a jank format.
All right, listen. In pre-release, you got hard punished back in the day when you didn't open any Tamas.
Yeah, before they
So
changed
look-
that rule, yes.
Before they changed the ruling. But Chris, you can't complain, all right? Because there was that 1 week where we as a community decided, yo, let's do a really cool set, like, pre-release week where we took old sets, old boxes that's just been sitting on the store shelves, and we paid for them,
Mhm.
and we did a sealed. And this
I almost
dude
went
up here, this dude right here pulled the entire Ragnarlord line and decimated everybody because he pulled the Ragnar line. He had everything. He had the Briar. He had everything.
Who'd you lose to? Because I didn't play you and I won that tournament.
I think Creed. No, did I lose to Creed? I probably lost to Creed. I had a really bad record against Creed. Creed would because I just didn't see the Ragnar pieces like fast enough, and he just killed me.
Dude, Josh opened the nuts. Like when I played him like
Yeah.
round 2 or round 3, and I saw some of the cards he had in his deck, I was like, bruh, if he plays this correctly,
Get
I
a big
probably just
dog.
get thrashed.
The EX1.
Fortunately, that didn't happen, thankfully.
Yeah, the EX1 pre-release was the most hilarious because you literally had 0 Tamas, and they hadn't invented the rule where you could just put it to, like a level 3 in the.
Bruh.
So you could just
Plesiomon Tribal.
Online. Yeah, it's just Plesiomon. If you had Plesiomon, you just had an
Attack your
huge
unsuspended
advantage.
dude you just played. Sucks to be you.
So, anyways, back to our
Rising.
getting off this crap. I think it all goes back to Bandai being again, I hate to say this, but it's in a lot of companies like this, a Japanese company where they are super set in their ways. They want to make their money and get more involved with content creators over here or even in Japan or in the United States. Like, I hate to bring it up again, like I was telling you guys before we started recording, like Marvel Snap does a really good job of connecting with all their content creators. They're involved in a lot of their stuff. They listen to their opinions. They, listen to literally they have a tournament right now that they're about to start for over on Twitch, and there's like all the players are content creators. So you bring in their fan bases. Like it just helps spread the game and like get it out there more. And I just wish Bandai would do that more often with not just Digimon, but maybe any of their games. Like you said, they did it with Battle Spirits, but like why is it just that game that's getting it?
It's so weird. They went so hard in the paint on Battle Spirits, like with their marketing and the prize support. Like I do not understand why they did that.
Does Bandai even have like a US base here? Like why can't we get them to reach out and try and spread the word? And like I think it could build our game, and then you bring in better prizing, more people are going to want to play. You're going to get more competitive players because they're going to be like, oh, I play card games for a living. Maybe let me spread out over here. Maybe I can win some cash that way. You get more competitive people to come and play when the prizing is better, and then it's just like then you can also spread out to the content creators. The content creators can help spread the word of the game. You get them more involved, and it's just a cycle like that.
Yeah, it's a snowball effect.
We'd actually have the ability to have pro players, like Magic.
And it's just crazy that a Bandai, this big company, because they are a big company. I mean, you can't say they're not because they have multiple card games that are all cannibalizing each other, and yet they're all having stable games. So it's just ridiculous to me. Like I don't understand why.
4 card games now, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Chill.
I don't even think Konami has that many, right? Like they literally
found their meal ticket. They found their meal ticket and stuck to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like just have one meal ticket, invest in that. Like why do I get it? Oh, we have the One Piece license. We have this license. Like you don't have to make a card game out of it.
Yeah.
Like I get you want to.
Yeah. You know what the One Piece fans need? You know what they need? They need a good video game. Like, they have not had a good One Piece video game, like, ever. There's been, like, maybe 2. Like, come on. Give them something. Like, the Dragon Ball fans, we get all the really good video games. So, we're eating. The Dragon Ball Super Card game was cool, I guess. But, like, know your audience.
This is so incredibly off topic.
So incredibly off topic, Brandon.
Hey, it'd be like that,
video games, by the way.
Marvel Snap.
He's comparing the card game and the support they get.
I'm saying, like, One Piece fans, like, they don't need a card game.
I mean, neither does Battle Spirit Saga, whatever. What is that even?
I don't even know what that is. I don't even know. You guys keep saying it, and, like, I don't even know if it's based on anything.
I only know it exists because Spencer was so hyped about it when it first came out.
Oh, that's on. Yeah, okay, yeah.
They played it for like a week.
Yeah, right. I have no idea what this is. Like, I'm looking at it. I don't know what this is.
I do remember the art being really cool. But yeah, so I like I said, I hate to say that it's probably because they're a Japanese company, but like you see it with Nintendo a lot too. These companies, they're just stuck in their ways.
If you guys want a thought, like on our wavelength of why these Japanese this way, look up how Nintendo handles their tournaments. Like, they're not a card game, of course, but if you look up how Nintendo handles tournaments, it is straight up awful.
They are a
like
card
for any
game.
of their events. Do what?
They are a card game. What?
Nintendo? They have a card game?
Pokemon.
Pokemon's separate from them.
Yeah, it's Pokemon Company. They're their own company.
Okay, all right. I'm ignorant, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo has any say over the Pokemon card game.
I thought they were like a parent company of them, though.
It's something like that. I don't think they touch the card game, though.
Okay. Probably a good call.
Yeah, no, like, the way they treat, like, Super Smash Brothers, like, stuff like that, it's awful. Like, these...
yeah. Okay, that, like fighting game tournaments, yeah.
Yeah, these companies, just for some reason, they don't like giving back to their players for some reason, even though we're what give them all their money. It's kind of crazy.
Sean, I don't know if you know too much about this. I've heard a little bit about it, but like basically, so Super Smash Brothers, not Melee, is it Melee?
Yeah, the GameCube one, Melee.
So it's like the most, I guess, like it's like the best or like a lot of people's favorite version of Super Smash Brothers, but they cannot run official licensed tournaments because Nintendo will not allow them because it's the older Super Smash. Literally, that's it.
They will step in and give them like a cease and desist and shut the place down. Because
it's not the newest game. It's not the newest version, and they haven't they're like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Like even content creators for like the news like Legend of Zelda or Mario, like anything like that, a lot of time you can't even react to stuff. You can't put out content on any of their stuff
Yeah,
because they hit you with cease and
They're
desist.
really weird. I remember like in the, I mean, I guess I don't know if it's Nintendo that does it or if it's a Pokemon company, but it used to be like for VGC back in the day, the Z moves, you would get like copyright striked if you had it like in a YouTube video.
Yep.
It's crazy. It's like, guys, like, I will literally pay you if you just give us the old Pokemon games on the Switch, but you just won't do it. They're just weird. They want you to buy and play the new stuff, and it's so dumb. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it.
Nintendo wants you to have fun the way they want you to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just weird how these companies over there like they're about the money, but it's just at the same time they're not about the money. It's so weird. Like you could have more money if you put money into it. It's so weird.
They're very stubborn for some reason.
Yes.
The investment would pay off. Like, just do it.
Mm-hmm. That's like
same thing goes for our card game. Like, if you invest more in your players are gonna buy more.
Dude, if we started having legit cash prizes for regionals and multi cups, like those things would be capped immediately.
Yeah, attendance is through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then with like content creators, like they send you like stuff, and then you get to open it on your channel, and you get to spread the good word of Bandai. Like, hey, Bandai did this for me. They sponsored this video. You know, like shout out them. You know, it's like it helps spread the word, and then people come in, watch the videos, and they go, oh hey, you know, Bandai's going to do this for this guy. Maybe I start playing the game, you know, and I can get stuff or enter these tournaments and stuff like that. It's just it's so easy. It's snowball effect.
They've done it once, right, Sean? It was BT5.
BT5, they sent out some boxes early to some content creators. Yeah.
And that's all they've ever done. And I don't think that's enough. Like, do that more often.
Yeah.
You get the word out there, get some sponsorships going, do something.
Yeah. And also, if we had legit cash prizes, it would be worth it to travel to events.
Yep.
Because like
people would actually travel to them.
Yeah, like I didn't sign up for Nats because I don't want to pay the $2,000 it would cost me in travel expenses to play at Nats, and hope to do well enough to get prize cards that will be worth selling to recoup my losses for traveling. And even then, I'd have to manage to sell those very expensive cards, and there's a very niche market for those cards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like please stop having Nats in LA. It costs people on the East Coast like nearly $2,000
just to get there.
Yeah, to just get there and stay there for the like 2 or 3 days.
The hotel prices, oh my god!
Just take like 2 or 3 weeks and go by horse and carriage.
Oh yeah, of course.
Might as well walk there at that point.
Yeah, Oregon Trail it. You know.
Yeah, I just put a backpack on my back with a tent and just walk there, and it's free.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
just gonna show up, smelling super bad.
See, it's really crazy, too, because if you guys remember, when we went to Atlanta, the prizing for the regular tournament was just cards.
Mm-hmm.
But then, the 3v3 War Game tournament, if you won that, you actually got cashed out. You actually got money.
Really?
The first place person, they got the pool. They got all the entry pool.
Dude, I forgot that.
Yeah, it's the only thing I thought of. I was like, it was only for the 3v3, which I think is funny because the 3v3s, I don't think they're officially
that's exactly
official
why.
Bandai tournament. They're run by the event.
Yep.
They're just an extra rule set that you could run
that's
extra stuff for.
That's exactly why it was a cash prize, is because it was just something that PPG wanted to do.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
that was
I had more fun doing the 3v3 than I did.
Dude, the 3v3 was so fun.
We need more of that. I want more of that.
Those 3v3s was the spawn of the Omni4Game because they forced me to create the team, and I was like,
Yes.
No, it wasn't just that. It was really bad because we had to rush last second because me and Sean played similar decks, and you can't have the same deck.
Not card for card, though. Chris makes his own choices.
Yeah, well, I was super lucky, and we were super lucky, and I brought a spare deck just in case. I brought Imperial Dramon, and we were all like, "Hey, let's just play an Omnimon," because we were all
everybody
playing
has
it.
an Omni.
and it's just like Omni4Game. That's just something we would say at locals, like, hey, you know, Omni4Game.
Mhm.
You just show it, and it's like, okay, yeah.
All right,
So that was just the start of it.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
had 2
that's
Omnis
great.
in my deck, and you each had 1
I had
Omni in
2.
yours.
No,
you,
yeah, I only had the
because
one.
you only have we only have
Yeah.
4 total of any one card across all 3 decks.
Yeah, I forgot. I was playing Red Hybrid.
Yeah, I was playing Greymon Tribal, so obviously I needed more than 1.
Right.
And Chris was an idiot and didn't have the proper deck, so he had to play
No,
one in Imperial.
no.
I mean, that's not. We didn't know that until we were like going to sign
we
up.
didn't know.
Sean, let me peddle my narrative. All right, Chris is dumb.
I mean,
I
that
won
may be
more
true,
games
but
in the
that's not the
3v3
reason
than
why he
you
didn't
did.
have a deck.
Okay, it never mattered when I won.
How many rounds? How many rounds where we were like, oh, it's lost. It's up to me and Sean.
Okay, so one of them I didn't get a finish, but I was winning
Yeah,
that
exactly.
Yeah, this game doesn't matter.
Yeah, because me and Sean won in like 2 seconds, and you
That
were
guy
like,
was-
I guess
That
I'm
guy was
done.
tilted. Like, it was
That
so
guy
funny, too,
was.
because I was literally killing him that turn. I had double Gravity Crush in hand. I had
He looked
everything
over-
I needed.
He literally did this. Oh, this doesn't matter.
Scooped
Starts
up his
picking up his
cards.
stuff.
I was like, ah. So then, if you remember, I lost the next one.
Mhm.
Because I played against Machine Dramon, and we had that funny moment where he hatched Doru, and
Easy.
Sean went, "Why are you
Oh,
so
Alpha.
upset about playing against Alphamon?"
That happened. I forgot to mention that happened Friday against Mel. I flipped Dory. He goes Alpha, and I go, oh no. And then I'm like,
no.
And then Dory, and then he's just like, oh, it is Alpha. And I digivolved into Numamon, and he's like, what the hell?
He's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
But then the last 2 rounds, I won my game, and you both lost.
Oh. Yeah.
We just couldn't carry you anymore, man.
Yeah.
I do understand.
My back was thrown out.
Yeah, because I remember I got paired against Beelzemon when Beelzemon was at full power, and I got super lucky. I womboed him so hard. I cleared all 5 security before he had anything to do, because I I didn't double Grav Crush. I Grav Crushed into an Emperor Greymon and double Atomic Inferno'd it. So I cleared all 5 of his security in one swing.
I'll never forget hitting that Beelzemon player's 1 of X antibody out of security, losing me the game.
If you would have just top decked that Imperial, not Imperial, Pyildra.
Ildramon. Oh yeah, I would have won for sure. But so we want to go into the next topic. We going into Brandon's.
Yeah. Least favorite format you've played in so far?
Easy. Every format before Mulligans. Boom, I'm done. You guys go ahead.
That's actually pretty fair. But
It's pretty
BT5 was in that range.
But
Yeah,
imagine how much
there.
more fun. Imagine how much more fun it would have been with Mulligans.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying BT5 is our favorite format.
I mean, I had fun. I had fun.
We
with,
literally played. Go ahead, Brand.
I had fun with Gabu Bond. I had fun with EX, or not EX. Which one was it? Was it EX?
This is least fun.
got the-
Least fun.
yeah, what are you talking about your favorite formats for?
Well, he was complaining about it.
Oh, you're just
everything
defending those
before Mulligan.
formats.
Yeah.
But remember when me and you went back, and you and Brandon also did this, and we played those older formats, and me and you were playing, Sean. We literally played an IRL game. I put together that green Sarismon deck,
Mhm.
okay, and you remember how that went? Oh, my opening hand is so bad, I literally cannot play the game. I've already lost. That's what made, I think, the barrier for entry for Digimon, and it put such a bad taste in a lot of players' mouths, was if you opened up your first hand and it was unplayable, you immediately felt so dejected that you had already lost the game because you cannot play. If your opponent, I remember games literally back in the day where I would open my opening hand and go, oh no, and then have to give my opponent 3. They would hatch and digivolve. I knew I lost.
It was at that moment I knew.
Because they would go 3, draw. They'd go 4, draw. They'd go 5, draw. My turn, draw. Still nothing. Pass. I've already lost.
Yeah.
So every format before Mulligans, there would be literal humongous tilting moments where it's just like, I cannot play the game. Yeah, sure, we had like decks where it was like, oh, this is really fun to play if you opened well.
That's why Gabumon was so much fun, because you just played oops all Gabumons.
Yeah,
So you
like,
never have to worry
okay,
about it.
Gabumon and Agumon would always be fun because they always had like a million searchers.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
BT5.
You're playing like 16 rookies and like a bunch of search cards.
right. So it's just like you could be like, oh, just play more rookies. Because like remember a couple formats ago, we were playing what 14 to 15 level 3s because you had to see one in your opening hand. Now you're like, I can play 10 or 12. Well, I don't know if you'd go down to 10, but you can play 12 now. Yeah.
Because you got training cards, you got all sorts of stuff. You're good. I
think I played 10 in my Greymon toolbox list for this format.
Yeah, remember how excited we were for memory boost? Just be like, oh, if we don't open a rookie, at least there's another chance to see one.
There's an extra 4 cards I can see for it.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw memory boost. I was like, an extra chance to see a level 3. That's like the first thing you think of. You're like, oh, hatch, memory boost. Oh, a level 3? Okay, I can play now.
And even if you don't see the level 3, you got rid of 4 cards that were going to be in the way to see the level 3.
Exactly.
And also, to actually pick a format, I'm going to say 1.0 because it lasted like, 4 months, 5 months, and it was just Blue Omni. That was it. That was the only deck. If you were playing any other deck, you just lost.
It wasn't tier 0.
It wasn't tier 0.
Chris is saying it is tier 0.
It was okay. It wasn't tier 0. It was either Red Omni. It was tier 1. It was Blue Omni. It was like tier 1.5 was like Red Omni. The thing with Blue was because it could just
Rookie Rush was in there too.
I don't think Rookie Rush
was at least 1.5.
I was gonna say Rookie Rush was more 1.5, 3. And once
Purple was like forced to play Heat Viper just to deal with them. That was terrible.
Right. So like it was just like Blue Omni was so strong at the time because it had the cheaper Evos because Red didn't have them yet.
Yeah, they did. They got them.
Well, they had like Hammer Sparks.
Yeah, Hammer Spark was
Red Omni. The best thing they had was Gaia Force. But didn't Omni have protection?
No.
Or am I thinking about the wrong one?
You are. We did not get protection until BT9.
Yeah,
well,
BT.
Except for BT5, Blitz Omni's protection.
Blitz Omni technically.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that one. Okay. OG Omni was like attack, return something, and then unsuspend. Okay. Yeah. Let me attack. Return my 2-cost Plesium onto my hand.
You want to see me do again?
You want to do it again? So I think 1.0 lasted for so long, and the set was so hard to get because that was like back in the day when like they were having really bad shipping issues and stuff like that. So and it lasted so long, and it was just really draining on players.
Yeah, like
and no mulligans.
No mulligans. If you were an English player playing at the very beginning of this game, the cards released, and then for like 4 or 5 months, you had nothing. Like, there was no restocking of the cards. Like, we were very fortunate. We ended up getting like 7 or 8 boxes. Like, we got a lot. But basically nobody else really did. So that really feels bad. So you're basically stuck with, here's starter deck players, and then here's like, oh, you actually got your hands on the set? All right, cool. Bet. I lost.
I remember, because I don't think you were playing 1.0 yet. Were you, Sean?
I came into the game after 1.5 came out.
This is how bad it was. We literally showed up at our local game store. The morning they were supposed to get it, and not only that, they were only going to be able to sell us like 1 to 2 boxes each.
Yep.
And we literally had to call. We were trying to call because our local game store has like 2 locations, and one's like 40
an hour away.
Yeah, like an hour away. We were trying to call them. Like, we were asking the people who run our local game store. We're like, hey, can we get any more of this product? Like, we want to open some boxes. We want to get some cards. We literally were trying to call them. We were going to drive all the way up there. Yeah, we were going to drive all the way up there, get more boxes from them, but it was like such a shortage that they just couldn't sell. They wanted to make sure other players could get their hands on the product.
And then it was even worse. It was even worse for 1.5.
Oh, 1.5 was real bad. It was real short.
Yeah, that was like 1 box per person bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not when
we got like
it was real bad. Yep.
Yeah.
So it was real bad, 1.5, and then they eventually got better with it. And, we don't have shortages anymore. I think.
Hey, let's be thankful we don't got shortages anymore. That's nice.
I think COVID was the primary driver behind all the shipping issues they had.
Yeah, I think Europe is the only one who's still somewhat experiencing it every now and then.
Yeah, I don't think we've had a delay in the States for
a while.
It's
been like at least 5-6 sets. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you, Sean? What's your least favorite format?
You know, I've been thinking about this, and this is going to sound really odd,
Big
but
thing.
I think BT13 is my least favorite format.
See, I thought you might say that
The one we just got out of?
Yeah. I know why, too. I know his logic. It's because it was too diverse of a format.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
I knew it. I knew you.
Yeah, with not having side decks and how diverse the format is,
Oh, okay.
there's always an there's almost always an auto loss for any deck you pick. And
Any strategy.
because that format was so diverse, if you played in like an 8 or 9 round event, the odds of you dodging that one matchup are pretty low because of how many different decks you're going to see. And
that is like the polar opposite of what most players would say. I like diverse formats. Sean's like, no, I want to know what I'm going to play against.
Too diverse, it's a problem.
Yes, if we had side decks, it wouldn't be that big of an issue because you could side for the really bad matchup that you lose to. But because we don't, like, it's really cool that you could be successful with basically any deck, but like, you're also going to run into that one matchup that you just can't beat most of the time unless you get super lucky. Yep. And so, like, from a competitive standpoint, I hate it when formats are that diverse, because if we had like tier 0 formats are obviously really unfun for from casual players, but for competitive players, tier 0 formats are the best formats because they're the most skill intensive, because you both have the same deck, and whoever's the better player knows how to play around the mirror the best is most likely going to win.
Yeah, unless you're just like a piece of garbage who says, "Hey, do you want to side out this card so we're not both, you're using the most OP card in the game?"
This guy.
Leave Patrick out of this.
That's legendary scumbaggery right there.
Don't shrug your shoulders, Sean. That was messed up of him.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was a little.
A lotta.
Sean, the community hated him so much after that they started thinking he looked like Upstart Goblin.
They made him Upstart Goblin.
It was definitely a scummy move. Like, I just would have said I don't agree to side out the card or whatever.
No, I agree. Yeah,
I agree. But he took advantage of it.
I mean, he clearly took advantage of it, which I mean, technically is not cheating, but obviously it's a pretty scummy move knowing you have an additional copy on your side, and you're just like, yeah, I don't have it in here.
Could you imagine someone does that, right, Sean? And then you're playing it, and then he used the card, and you're like, well, I thought we sided that out. And he goes, oh, I did, but I had another one in my side deck.
Yeah, I sided it.
I mean, I'm assuming that happened. I'm assuming that happened in that match.
I would pick up my cards. I just walk.
So
I'd be pissed.
If I were doing that, I wouldn't have even if I were the other guy, I wouldn't have agreed in the first place to side it out.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Because that obviously it opens a door for stuff like that to happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you just get lied to.
Yeah.
The dude just rolls you because of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I forgot what I completely lost my train of thought. Oh, tier 0 formats.
BT13, yeah.
Tier 0.
So diverse formats are obviously really cool for casual players because you get to play whatever you want, and as long as you don't run into that one matchup that you auto lose to, you do okay. But yeah, it's not fun when your goal is to try to do as well as possible, and you know that you have one matchup and there's no side deck, so you can't do anything about it besides tweaking your main deck enough to where hopefully it doesn't hurt you in other matchups, but enough to where maybe if you see those cards, it might help you not just get stomped by the matchup you lose to. But yeah, BT13 was my least favorite. It was the least fun I've had in the big tournaments because of how diverse it was. Because no matter what I brought, I ran into my auto loss and I just got stomped.
Right. Yeah. If you guys don't understand what he means by an auto loss, I want you to try playing Red Hybrid against Machine Dramon. Let them establish at least one Machine Dramon stack and then try to win.
Never lets it die.
Never gonna let it die. It's one of the hardest matches I think this card game has ever seen. If you're a Red Hybrid player, you know what I mean. But like anybody else, it's literally an immovable object versus a water gun. Like, what are you doing?
Big dinosaur.
Big metallic dinosaur that can't die versus a deck. Whatever.
Big robot dinosaur.
Machine
Big
Dramon
old
is just straight
mecha.
up pure machine. He's made out of entirely metal. There's no
Yeah.
Talking
dinosaur.
about Mugen Draymon? Is that who you talk about?
No, I'm talking about Machine
That
Dramon.
weeb name.
Yeah, exactly. That
Yeah, so
Mugen Draymon.
my least favorite format, to be honest, is BT4. It was just that one
Oh
point
god,
in the game.
that's so boring.
Yeah, it was just that one. Like looking through them, like I looked through the entire list, and I was like, that was a boring format.
I
Is
love
that the
that
one
format.
where we? Is that the one where we first got hybrids?
Yeah, where we got Goonimon and
Oh
Logomon.
my god.
It was
Yeah,
when we had
okay.
Yellow War Greymon.
Yellow War Greymon was like the highlight of that.
Oh,
set.
Yellow or Greymon was fun.
Mm-hmm. We had
Yeah,
a
you didn't
clear
like it
we had a
'cause-
clear best deck in format. I loved
Yeah,
that
you
format.
didn't like it. That was like super early when Yellow went on like a 3 to 5 formats where it was
Three-
like the top
just
deck.
top.
3 consecutive sets where it was at least tier 1, if not the
Because it was
best deck.
1.5.
1.5 is
BT4,
Shine. Yeah, BT4 is
BT5.
War Gray, and BT5 was Lord Knight.
I don't know. Was Shine Greymon in 1.5?
It
Was it like tier
it was
0?
It wasn't tier 0. I think Red Omni was probably the best deck, but Shine was a very
Oh,
good.
I guess Old Force. Old Force.
Full Force was there too. Yeah, if you outpaced it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So
like,
yeah,
I think
it was
the problem-
Shine into Yellow War Gray into Lord Nightmon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
And
think
Yellow War
just the
Gray and Lord
problem was-
Nightmon were clear best deck in formats of 4 and 5.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think the problem was
I loved
you
those
just didn't
formats.
see a lot of like you didn't see a lot of real room for diversity in that format because all the purple players were just playing Anubismon. All the blue players basically still played All Force because you didn't get anything really good in that set. Like you could try playing the Ancient Garu deck, but it was definitely a few pieces shy of being viable.
Imperial as well.
Red,
Imperial.
yeah, you stuck with All Force or Imperial.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, all we really got was a good yellow deck to run with now.
It was
That's
Guess what colors? Guess what colors weren't even mentioned?
black.
So-
Because all
And
you
green.
got was Final Zubagon
So-
Punch.
Green had Grand Quagga OTK. That's what they
Yeah.
got in BT4, and that was like,
I mean, they got Nidhogg. Nidhogg was good.
yeah, they played it in that deck.
Nidhogg
It was
so
arguably the second best deck in format. It was the one that had like the second most representation and like
And then
tournaments.
something.
But it was
also I
not
wanted to
consistent
bring
enough.
up- Another thing I wanted to bring up with this set is it's the only printing of a Don Devimon card, and why have we not had another one yet? Come on, give it the program. Give me a new Don Devimon.
One day
I want to play a Devimon deck. I want to play Don Devimon.
they gave us a
give
little
me
bit
a
of
new
support
card.
in BT14 randomly.
Yeah, that's not like we have a card that gives Devimon security check +1. Cool. Give me more.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play a Devimon deck. And don't come at me with saying, oh, well, what about my Otismon? No. Doesn't count.
No,
It was a different line.
Different line. We have an official Devimon line. Put my Otismon over there. Over there. I want Devimon.
I
Give me
agree.
Devimon.
We need a new one. Yeah,
Because especially, he's so cool. Such a
He's
cool
so iconic.
card.
He's one of the most iconic Digimon out there.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a new one. Give me a new.
Just the way he tries to murder all those children.
Because like, I tried the Don Devimon deck back in the day. All right.
So bad.
And it was almost impossible because you had to have so many promos to use
Those
it.
promo, yes. Okay, I forgot about those. Yeah.
So I
okay.
never played it at full power because I never had all the promos because the promos were like $20 a pop for a Demi Devimon.
all those
You're not
Devi,
paying
those
that.
Demi Devimons. Yeah.
I had him
Because you had to
could've
get the
remembered.
one. You had to get the one that had the ability to play Don Devi for free, and then you had to pay the other one, which was on play like Mill.
Mhm.
Like, no, just
I had extras of those cards if you had asked me.
yeah. Well, hindsight. If only you would have told me that. God, 2 years ago.
Never asked.
Yeah, but no, BT4. It also has objectively the worst Marcus in the set, so there's that too.
I mean, it does, but it was the first Marcus.
Yeah.
I loved BT4, dude. That was one of my favorite formats.
See, I would slight disagree. I think Yellow War Greymon was better in the Metal Garu Jagras deck because you were able to neg like 12k with one swing. It was great.
I don't think I really hated too many of the formats. I mean, like I said, most of them before Mulligans. And then I think I had more favorite formats than I did least favorite because I can always think of it because I played so many different decks. Like I could always find one where I could look back and be like, yeah, that was pretty fun.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I could imagine like if I had one favorite color and that color was like dog water, be like, man, this format sucks. You know, but form or 3 and 4 and 5, I can always look back and be like, okay, Shine, Yellow War Greymon, and then Lord Nightmon. Like yellow players were eaten.
Yeah, after the absolute dog water, they got 1.0. After that, they sailed.
Yeah,
Unplayable
gotta
1.0.
make it good. Gotta make it good.
Yeah, your best level 6 in 1.0 was Slash Angemon. So, oof.
Hey, don't sleep on the Slash Angemon with the 5 cost. You could kill an Omnimon with that. It was exactly 15k.
God. So
And then they would just play another one on you, and you're like, do it again. Going in again. Gotta do it again.
Yeah, I didn't hate BT13. That's just my least favorite, just from a
Yeah.
competitive standpoint. All right, so we just got a ban list announcement.
Yep. It's very fortunate that we actually managed to record this podcast super late because Sean was very busy over the weekend, and they happened to announce that we're getting a new restricted limited list
In
today.
1 week.
I gotta say, I loved it. Sean was like, no, we can do it Friday night. And I'm like, Sean, you sure you got an ulti cup in the morning? He's like, I'm good.
Yeah,
He sends
it's
us a
good.
message. He sends us a message. He's like, actually, I don't think we'd be done until like 2 or 3 a.m. Maybe we do it Monday. And I'm like, yes, thank you.
It turns out I should have just done it because my Saturday was a wash anyway. So like if I was dog tired, it wouldn't have really affected anything.
Yeah, nothing would have been lost. It just
Yeah,
whatever.
because I didn't get top 64, so like I would not have gotten any additional prizing for doing worse than I did.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's talk about this restricted list and what we think is going to end up happening with it. So we're getting it in
Before
a week.
Sean gets it and take Jet off.
Yeah, Jet to 4, Gray X to 4.
Garu X stays at 4.
Nope.
I have the meme ready just in case, just so you guys see it. He's sitting there. I've got it ready. The meme is ready to go. As soon as they hit my boy to 1, because it's going to happen, I'm just preparing myself in my heart. I'm posting it.
I think that card may stay at 4. I think they need to look at the cards that are
Around it.
like getting the payoffs.
I don't think they touch Apocalypse. I don't think they do it.
He's a secret rare, right?
He is.
It
I
would
don't think they're touching it because of that.
It would be extremely surprising if they hit a Pokemon.
They would kill that set.
because
That set would die.
yeah,
Set's dead.
because obviously
With this, you get at least a few months to play the Garu X in the Garu X deck, and then after that, Banhammer. As soon as Apocalypse comes out. Because look at the date. It's not going to be effective until March.
yeah, BT14
I don't think they're going to let...
us.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to let Analog Youth. I don't think they're touching it. I don't think they're touching Chimeramon. I think this is essentially going to be just for Garu X.
I think it is super weird they're giving us this now months ahead. Like, it's super weird.
I
think
think
this
it's
might be
because
one of those-
Japan's meta is super scuffed, and they're trying to fix their meta.
This might be one of those situations where for Japan, it becomes effective almost immediately.
I think that's
But
what's
for
going to happen.
us, it's not going to be until March.
Yeah.
It's super weird to do this, though, and make it so far out, because if you hit any new cards that we don't have yet, whatever set they're in, that kills that set.
Well, I mean, thankfully, I say that as
Because the whole
Garu's
point...
fan. It's an uncommon. So it's not going to, like, super affect the value of the set.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, like, if you hit any like super, like, because imagine, like, the whole point is, I've got to buy multiple boxes to pull multiple cards, or you get people like us who just like ripping open packs and smelling the cardboard and just, like, you just get that feeling. But like for certain players, if you hit certain cards that are like supers or whatever that you need 4 of, why buy multiple boxes? Why not just buy one individual card that you've already restricted one? It'll kill whatever set it is if you hit cards like that. So it has to be cards like Chimeramon, Analog You, like these cards that are already in circulation that people already have multiple copies of. But it's like, it's March. Like, are these cards going to be relevant all the way in March? Like, we need an answer now.
Well, they're fixing Japan's format. Japan is that far ahead of us, so that's why it's so early for us.
So again, we're gonna say give us separate ban lists.
Yeah, separate ban lists would be better, but still, like, obviously we would know what's on the horizon even if they gave a separate ban list, because like they would probably want to fix our meta so it's not super jank like Japan's is.
Yeah, especially since our meta is already different because of the ban list. Like, we have Tommy and Savior.
They have it too, but they didn't have it in this format. Yeah, that's true.
They didn't have it in this format, which, like, that completely changes a lot of matchups.
Like Bandai, take out the rifle.
Blue Hybrid specifically.
Yeah,
Jesmon's not doing
much. Jesmon's still not a deck. It's still too clunky.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Take out the rifle. Go out to the backyard, and we got to put down old Yeller. Okay, got to put that dog down.
Yeah, ban Balmon. And
no, it's not happening.
Also, I really think Chimeramon's getting touched. I think it's going to go to zero.
Chimera is the most free card in the Lugamon deck, period.
Yeah,
like,
I think...
Here's the thing.
If you don't look at the Tama, Chimera's the most free card.
I'm looking at both.
Yeah.
I don't think
they're doing it.
I could also see Analog Youth getting touched because it's basically not even a white tamer anymore. It is a...
It's always been a purple tamer.
Yeah, it's just a purple tamer. Like, it does too much for a 2-cost tamer. Like, imagine there were other 2-cost tamers out there. There's a 3-cost Joe out there
who wishes he could be this good.
Who wishes he could. Like, there are 3-cost tamer. Sean, think about the 2-cost tie that came out sets it. Like in one of the early sets, just 1,000 extra DP.
That's
the same cost. The same cost. Like, this is a 2-cost card that does so much for decks.
It's like a generic Cool Boy.
Memory gain, extra hatching.
It's like what Cool Boy did for Alphamon. That's what Analog Youth does for purple strategies.
Yeah. So I feel like Analog...
They could. That's a card we've forgotten about. Could they be also hitting Cool Boy, preparing us for all this new X antibody stuff?
No,
I don't think so.
I think Cool Boy's fine if the deck is Alphamon's not tier 0.
Yeah, the only deck that consistently uses it past that point is Alphamon, because Garu drops it because we get the new BT14 mat. Agumon already dropped it because we got the BT12 tie. Like, you just don't need it anymore in those 2 strategies.
Mm-hmm.
And those were the 2 that were mainly using it.
Yeah, it's just really, really strong in Alphamon because it searches the entire deck.
Yeah.
Right, okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
But essentially, like, I think Analog is probably the closest that they could do to limit Purple, because Purple is currently going crazy. Like, you have the Luga deck still. You have the Merva Anubis loop deck. You have the Apocalypse loop. So I think Analog definitely slows their roll a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, especially with all those announced cards we got for Luga.
Yeah.
Like, look at all those new announced. We literally they have a 3-cost delay option card coming out that is just text the card.
It's so much, and it's so cool too.
It does everything. Imagine your opponent. Yes, imagine your opponent has a mist. They have a mist. They have that. They have Analog Youth. They have AG. They have the other. It's like, okay, something in the deck's got to get touched.
I think the only thing that's making me think they're not touching like Luga is the fact it's not going to be effective till March. I think that's what gives me the thought that it's going to be specifically something coming in EX5.
I think they're probably going to try their absolute best to hit old cards rather than new cards. And that's why I think Chimeramon's on the block and Analog Youth potentially. Because I think those would be very strong hits. Like, Analog Youth is definitely just too good for Purple now. Like, Purple's way too fast.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really wanted to slow them down, like, they started it by hitting the 2 Gabumons. You hit the Eismon, both of them. Both Eismon are just gone at this point.
Yeah, both of them are at 1.
And then, hitting the Analog, I think, makes a lot of sense. I'm just not hopeful. I'm not hopeful because I'm looking at my poor defensive Garurumon, who just got ripped into all these other decks. Like, all you other scummy players using Garu in your engines.
Another dog that needs to be put down.
I'm tired of it. Let me
it's
have
actually-
my day.
That's actually why
All right.
Grandma Next got his, because it was played in War Gray as opposed to Black War Gray.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it was so generically good that people were like, "Hey, this is now the entire bottom end of my deck." Did it fit? No. Was it meant to be this way? No. But we're doing it. Apocalypse turn 3, I guess. So upsetting.
I think
I
they're
feel like
gonna
it's
hit
going to be a
olds.
casualty of war.
I just really hope that we get Jet Black or not Black War Greymon, but Greymon X
Greymon X.
antibody, and then HPD back to 4. Just bring them
No.
all back.
Take that last one back. Come on.
You think they just? I don't think they're ever gonna ban it. It will stay at 1. It would have done. They would have done it
It
already.
blows my mind that they
So-
refuse to ban that card.
Bloom to 1. Put Bloom to 1. If you really want to push green and actually start getting some new green
Different
decks out here,
strategies. Yeah, if you
different
put
Bloom
Bloom
to
to 1,
one.
it would force him to actually play Rosemon.
yes.
Also, another card that probably needs to be brought up. I will actually say the correct card this time, not the mistranslated version of the card we were saying last time. Emissary. Do we think Emissary's possibly getting touched?
I think it's gonna sit there being really, really good until we get a card that absolutely breaks it, like Mega Fusion. I don't think it's gonna get touched until we get something that just puts it way over the top, like Susan did for Mega Fusion.
Is Yellow Vaccine even still a decent deck by March? Like, we got to think about that too. Like,
Well, every time I bring up the Japan format, you yell at me, so I'm not going to give you the answer to that.
I would never yell at you. Never.
My 20 plus years of trauma tell me otherwise.
Oh God.
So I don't.
All
Is
that,
yellow
all that war zone we were playing earlier.
is yellow
Ah,
vaccine
so-
a thing in Japan in BT15?
No,
Yeah.
dude, people drop every deck like a bad habit because it's a basically tier 0 format because of Apocalypse. Like, it's bad.
I gotta watch some Apocalypse gameplay. Like, I need to see this deck in action at full
So,
power.
It's pretty
This is what it does.
herder.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, this is what the deck does. For
'Cause
those of
this
you who
deck,
don't know,
from what you've said and what I understand, this sounds like Mel to a T. Like, this is the deck Mel would love to build and like bring, because he always like brings this like weird jank
yeah, 'cause
deck.
it's also
that's
like
just,
a mill strategy deck too. It's crazy.
yeah.
So the whole point of the deck, for those of you who don't know, is Apocalypse. You hard play him, but you can hard play him for 3 memory if you have all 4 Dark Masters in your trash. Hence why I use the Garu engine to get as many of those pieces in the trash as possible. Because the Garu engine allows you to draw a lot of cards and ditch a lot of cards, so you're filling up your trash very fast, along with Analog Youth and other pieces like that. So, you're able to hard play the Apocalypse for 3 memory, and essentially what he's going to do is he's going to suck up other level 6s from your trash, any level 6. So any level 6 that has an on-play effect, he can then copy that on-play effect. So Apocalypse like pretty cracked. So people were actually teching in like BT14 Gallantmon, stuff like that, in this deck to give it that on-play effect. It was crazy.
That's good.
That's awesome.
Alphamon was teched in there. So, here,
Yo.
let me lock you out of a swing with your
I'm
10.
thinking about it. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about all the on-play level 6s.
Any level 6 had an on-play, it went in there.
Hey, why? Dude, all the random night cards that they gave us, they're like, hey, these cards are pretty cool, pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right, here's a card that
So-
abuses them. Oh, no.
Now let's make this even worse. All right, because it's not bad enough. Let's make it worse. He mills 18 cards out of your deck just by coming out on the field, basically.
Why?
I think it's a win.
Hold on, I'll do this
or
like,
something like
I'll do,
It's
hold
an
on,
end
hold
of
on.
turn
I'll,
effect. It's not 18. You're
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 cards per level.
It's 2
6 in
cards
his
per
source.
level 6 in his sources at the end of the turn.
I'll do this just like how Mario does. Why does he do that? He just
It
does.
just does.
He just does.
He mills 8 cards if you play him, tuck 3 Dark Masters, which is the cap,
Right.
and tuck another level 6 at the end of the turn. So he mills 8 cards.
Well, is there an on-play level 6 that mills cards?
Yes.
Because I think there was a
Potentially, I don't
card
know.
that was put in the deck that makes it to where it mills like 18 cards.
Didn't we just get? Is that the one we just got in this set? Is it when Digivolving or an on play? The one with the big eye.
Oh, the Ghoulmon.
Ghoulmon.
I think
yeah.
It probably has an on play. They've been shifting to where giving everything their on plays.
I can't remember. I just know it mills cards.
Let's take a gander.
Because none of the is it Megadramon? The evil version of
it's
Guilmon?
when attacking and when Digivolving, so no, you couldn't play that.
Okay.
All I know is there was a specific way to get it to mill 18 cards, basically.
Jesus. Sean, how are we
Which
going to
is
play
ridiculous.
Leviathan X when that thing's rolling around?
Well, easy. We don't have to worry about it because it's probably getting touched in some way.
Yo.
Dude.
Just wait till our giant dinosaur fish is eating everyone up.
Bro, I can't wait till somebody plays something by effect and I'm like, hey,
Hey, way to get punished.
you done goofed, boy.
Yeah, no, so I think the problem with Apocalypse was that people took the Garu engine and generically made their trash already very good and then filled it with even better cards so they can on-play their Apocalypse and just keep going from there. So if your opponent had multiple Apocalypse on the board, you basically just had to scoop phase, just like...
Right.
Because if you couldn't...
Well, hold on. Could it like mill multiple times?
Yeah,
or is
it's
it
an
just the
end
one?
of turn effect. So what would
So
happen
like
is...
every time you would put like a level 6 underneath it would mill cards?
Every
so end of turn...
no.
every end of turn, so it's not like doing it multiple times a turn.
So the exact
Both
reading...
players' turns?
No, end of your turn.
No, it's end of your turn.
Okay. Oh,
Okay,
thank
so
God.
I'll give you the exact reading of the card.
Could you imagine?
That'd be awful.
Into my turn, mill the rest of your cards. Mill the rest of your cards. In my turn. Okay, you lose.
I'm gonna tell you guys something funny after Brandon reads the card.
Okay.
Okay, so end of your turn, once per turn. By placing one level 6 or lower card from your trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, activate one of the on-play effects of the card placed by this Digimon's effect. Then, for each level 6 card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, trash the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck.
True. I could see how that could start to like stack up and like start to roll.
So it's like bare minimum 8, like you were saying, I think. But like that's still 8 cards being milled out of your deck immediately.
What's his base DP? 15?
It's 15. Yeah.
Okay, Raid War Greymon right over him. Whack.
Yeah, I better hope they don't mill your Raid War Greymons.
He has protection if you play back the Vilemons from the set that he comes out in.
Also, he will have retaliation because one of the Dark Masters gives retaliation. It's an inheritable.
Yeah.
No, we have Gray X. We have Gray X underneath. We're good.
Yeah, I feel like Red kind of has an okay time versus that. So the funny thing is,
as a blue player, I just bounce it. But then they just hard play it again.
I think the Vilemon keeps that from happening. I think it's like a remove from field effect.
I don't even know if they play the Vilemon.
I feel like you would in some number. I mean, all
Yeah,
you have to do is
I'd assume if you want to be a good player, you play at least a couple, right? Just in case.
And then that's why they play the old...
Protection's better than none.
Yeah, they play the old Piedmon because the Piedmon plays 2 of them out for free.
That's pretty good. My Garu X would just bounce them both back, though.
So what were you going to say, Sean?
So on the sim, back when I first started playing on it, I was playing my Digimon Gallant list at one point. And back then I was just playing against randoms. And I played against this one guy playing like BT14 format in Japan. And he was playing that deck, like the Apocalypse deck. And I was playing 3 Solarmons in my Digimon list at that time because my hard loss in that deck was versus Blue Flare. So I needed to see that card in order to not lose that deck. And so I just kept putting Solarmons on the field, and he just couldn't do anything. Like, the deck just does not function if they can't out that rookie.
Yep.
That's also if they mill themselves, like you can just kill them with Crimson Mode. But it's obviously a really strong deck. But I just thought that was funny. Because I was playing like a BT.
Play a little red gear.
Yeah, I was playing like a BT13 deck or BT12 deck at the time, and I just like stomped him.
Yeah, the massive problem is everybody for some reason hopped on the hype train for it, and everybody was playing it. So you were basically doing mirror matches all day. It was like, from what I understand, it was really toxic.
I feel like I would rather just play the counter to that if it's that common and there's like ways to
you would
just
think.
hard win.
That's why
versus
I don't
it.
that's why I don't think it's going to be a problem in the English format, because we're not stringent like that. Like people are going to be like, "Oh, I'm still going to play hunters. Oh, I'm still going to play this. I'm still going to play this." Like we're not like, "Oh, this is tier 0. Yeah, I guess we'll play that every day for the next 3 months."
Yeah, I would just play whatever beats that. I would just play anti-meta that.
And then you have people who are going to be anti-metting you, anti-metting that, and then it's going to be a whole process.
They can do that if they want, but they just get curb stomped by the best deck in the format.
By the actual meta,
yeah.
Yep.
That's not. I don't think you anti-meta someone because you just get destroyed by the meta.
Yeah, but what happens when your War Greymon gets turned poop? What then?
Yeah, who cares?
That would be unfortunate.
Yeah, Greymon protect this.
That's not a deck. I'm not worried about that. Yeah, let's talk about Edamon getting hit on the list, huh? That deck's too good.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, let's break Josh's heart. Let's put Edamon on the list. All of them.
No, let's ban Puppetmons too. Puppetmons don't need to exist.
Oh, no. I mean, you remember back in BT1 1.5 when, they would play out a bunch of rookies and they're like, here's 10 memory with Puppetmon. I'm going to stun your one Digimon. GG, no re.
Yeah, I guess it's over.
Yep. I'm just going to kill you.
You know what? I could see I think maybe another reason why Apocalymon's running so rampant over there is because of how fast you can mill your opponent out. Because don't they only play one games matches?
Oh yeah, it's a best of one.
I think most of the time they're still doing best of one.
That would suck too. Like imagine why play the counter if the counter can't kill them fast enough in the one game? Like you just play maybe I mill them out fast enough. That would suck. I would hate playing that too.
I don't see how people aren't just like main decking 4 of the cost reduction blocker rookies, because like that hard walls that deck. Like they have to answer that card before they can do their stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't.
I mean, we're not in that format yet, so we can't really talk about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess I'm missing something because it seems very easy to counter that deck, but I guess there's something that we don't know.
Yeah, maybe there's a card in that set that like actually has removal.
I wonder if they play that. Them. Is it a memory boost card that pops a rookie?
That's possible, yeah.
Because I feel like you'd have to play that. About. Yeah, I think we already have that card, but I can't remember. I know it's bad though.
It's that red one, right? It's got like Agumon on it.
No, it's a purple card.
Purple, is it a purple one?
No, the one you're thinking of is also terrible. It gives one of your Digimon security attack +1 for the turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right. Also unplayable because it's a 3-cost option.
Yeah, it's so bad. Yes, sure. Let's hear about our question. We actually have one.
Comment question. If you guys want us to answer your question on next week's podcast, please put it in the comments below, and we'll be happy to answer it. So we got uncalibrated aimbot 8291. I'm digging the name. That's pretty funny.
That is funny.
I like that.
You need to get Garrison there. Get Garrison there. He'll get you sorted out, buddy.
Who?
It's a Mass Effect reference. Don't.
You never played Mass Effect?
No.
Garrus is in there. He's calibrating that ship's gun.
Okay.
The Normandy's ship.
Anyways. So the question is, how would you feel if a black blocker deck was actually tier 1 good? Would your answer change if it primarily won by deck out as opposed to winning by burning security and eventually attacking for game?
I think if you want to win game 1 and just go into time every single round, sure.
Yeah,
you want to sit there for 50 minutes.
The problem is you're probably going to time every round with a format or like a structure like that. Because imagine the mirror match.
You have to win game 1. Whoever wins game 1 just wins.
Yeah, I think it would.
So you have a best of 1 format.
It would be best if it actually won by burning security and eventually attacking for game. Because like what you guys said, like that's just a format where top tables are going to time, like every single round.
That's why the only good black deck was Alphamon, because it was aggressive. Because they want black to be this weird, slow blocker deck, and it's just like, but how do you win?
So I actually had a thought.
That's the neat part.
I had a pretty good thought. I did think a thought.
Okay.
Remember back when we got the first Greymon Black starter deck. All right. Now the inheritables of some of those cards and some of their on-field effects were if your opponent didn't attack, you got to draw. Well, imagine we got more effects like that, but it would be like if your opponent didn't attack at you this turn, trash top card of their security.
That would be cool. I could see that.
It would need to absolutely not be. It would need to not be a cyborg or machine.
That would hold on.
That's the one caveat. It can't be a cyborg.
It would have to be a level 6. It's the effect of the level 6.
There would have to be. There would have to be. You'd have to put like a wording on there. If your opponent can attack you, you'd have to do that because they're like
something
imagine
like
you
if
have
they
that
had
on the
something,
board.
they had to have something in play in order to.
Yeah. Like that's how you would counter that.
Yeah.
Like because you'd build in your raising, until you could answer it.
Yeah. You want it to be tier 1, by the way. Just make it a War Greymon.
So
he has a shield.
Well, then it's no longer a black deck; it's a Greymon deck.
But then it's not black.
You'd say that.
Yeah,
it's not black; it's Greymon.
Yeah, it's a Greymon deck.
Yeah.
I think
that's how you make it tier 1.
The easy way to word that, I think, is if your opponent has a Digimon in play and they didn't attack you this turn.
Trash top card is
which obviously, if you hard play something, you're playing into that. But I feel like there's you could also just play around that pretty easily.
Yeah, just play around it. Yeah,
but that's still a really strong effect.
Effects like that.
Yeah.
Yes. And the closest thing we have to like a big black blocker deck is Machine Dramon right now. Like, it's like
because your analog mans are basically that strategy.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing where you just try and build a big Machine Dramon with a bunch of inheritables like blocker, reboot, security tech +1, and then analog mans, and you're just like, okay, I'm big chilling.
You inherently have very good protections in that deck as well.
Yeah, I played that. Yeah, the Machine Dramons all have protection on themselves. You get rid of 2 sources, you survive.
Mm-hmm.
And like the analog mans are all basically just like another blocker on the board because you're redirecting the attack. Like that's the whole idea of the deck. But if you wanted to build a deck like that, decking out an opponent is fun when your like strategy is that. But when it's I'm gonna put up a Digimon or multiple Digimon so big that they just can't kill me. Like at that point, why aren't you just attacking them for game? Like why are you not just attacking them?
Why are you mystic mining them?
Yeah, like it's like let's sit here and let's both have a miserable time while I sit there and watch you draw and I'm just gonna wait till you go through all your decks. Yeah. Like there's no fun in that. That just wouldn't be fun for anybody. Like I'm not gonna have fun doing that.
If it was a mill strategy, you could even change what I just said earlier and just be like, if your opponent did not swing at you and they could have, mill top 3 cards of their deck. Like something crazy. I don't know. I really thought about it.
I feel like that juice purple a little too much.
Oh yeah. But I really thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, they had something kind of interesting with that starter deck where it's like your opponent didn't attack at you, so you couldn't play into your blockers. You got effects for it. I really like that.
I like that. Like, give that to them. Yeah, I agree.
It's forcing your opponent to play into your strategy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I think they need more of that.
I agree. I think
because it's got easy counterplay. Yeah.
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 I like that a lot. You could make them all like inheritables. Like if your opponent didn't do this, like gain a memory, or like you gain extra DP for your next turn or whatever.
Now, what Digimon do we give this to? Because it can't be Alphamon.
Craniumon.
Can't be Greymon.
That'd be Craniumon.
Yeah, it'd be Craniumon Tribal. Dude, imagine if they got like enough support because like BT2 or BT3 Crania, where all your black blockers just can't be deleted. Like purple just is like I guess I literally can't interact with your board.
Yeah.
Guess I'll go die now.
High speed plugin becoming a top tier card can't be blocked.
It would also have to have something where like, so you know how like red has like a lot of their Digimon can get like extra security text, blue can like unsuspend multiple times. The Craniumon or whatever or something as an inheritable would have to be like, okay, if you deleted a Digimon by using blocker this turn, unsuspend, and then he gets the block again. Like,
just do what
it could be something like
Ace
that.
War Greymon does. Ace War Greymon's like, hey, just unsuspend if they check his security. Or something like that. Like, oh, if you redirected an attack, unsuspend. Do like a Raid War Greymon thing.
Yeah.
And then you could play like tech cards like the Metal Tyrannomon, so you blocked and deleted a Digimon.
The
Crash
2
another
cost black
security.
tie from that deck. That was actually pretty cheeky little card.
I played that in my
Basically,
Machine
you got-
Dramon list back in the day.
Oh, I
before
remember. I hated it.
The heyday.
I
Yeah.
hated it.
That was like
You played that on me, and I was like, "What does this even do?"
Yeah, it lets me block
And
twice.
I realized, yeah, plot twist. It makes my game less fun.
It was Analog Man before Analog Man.
Yeah, it really was. Yeah, I think that's what they need. I think they just need to force players.
They need
Play their
force them to
strategy.
attack into
Yeah.
their blocker.
like they did with BT13 Crania, like that can force your opponent to attack. They need stuff like that forces your opponent to play into it or play around it. Because currently they're just kind of a do nothing deck.
Doing their own thing.
Yeah.
They're doing their own thing, and your opponent just doesn't care.
Yeah, they're just like, whatever, dude. I'm just gonna OTK you.
Heck, like imagine they have an inheritable. Imagine they have an inheritable. Oh, your opponent didn't attack at you. Digivolve one of their stacks.
See, put us in there,
crazy.
Bandai. Call us up. We'll help you develop these cards.
None of them can
Get
be
us in
cyborgs
there.
or machines.
Yeah, you gotta make
No.
sure of it. You gotta
No,
make sure
you
of
can't
it.
make them.
Like absolutely zero stuff could be
No, we
also
have to-
support for Machine Dramon.
We have to make sure that the level 5 or this line at all is not a Greymon line, because the level 5 Metal Greymon is immediately going
get
into
out of
machine.
It goes into machine and it goes into War Greymon. Just
yeah.
get it out of there.
It would need to just be pure black to avoid it
Yeah.
accidentally supporting other archetypes.
And do like you did Lugamon. Just one set, just give us every
Give
single
us
card.
all of it.
Just the whole deck.
Yeah, you just have the whole deck, and you just have to grab a
Immediately
couple
tier
old
1.
cards out of your bulk, and you're set.
Yeah.
So really good question. It got us thinking, and we created an entire new
Archetype based on it.
yeah,
Just let's
big
do
black
it.
blocker. You have to attack. You have to attack, because you're just gonna die.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
think that'd be good.
yeah. And
Give us an ace that does that. Do it. Do it.
dude, if they gave us BT3 Crania retrained as an ace, I think that'd be really strong.
Yeah,
Yeah, awesome.
especially since the ace happens before blocker timing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, aces seem like they're so perfect for decks that play blockers because, like, with the War Greymon, you can Evo into it and then block the incoming attack. And it's like, is that why we still don't have a level 5 in black? Like, why? We still don't have it.
I think it's just the Bandai hatred. I don't think there's
like,
a legitimate
we're
reason.
We're done with the reveals. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
But-
We're done with the reveals for BT16. And I am 95% sure we still do not have an ace black blocker.
I would like
Or
to
just an ace black
I would like to
level
place
5.
a bet now and say the first black level 5 ace is going to be a
be Greymon.
virus Metal Greymon.
It's going to be a Greymon.
It's going to be the black or Greymon Metal Greymon.
It just
It's 100% going to have. Because
It's,
we're getting more Dark
probably going to like
support,
de-evo on play, which would be lit.
more Doru support.
Maybe also have blocker natively, because that'd be sick.
what if it was Skull Greymon, like for black? That'd be cool.
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool. Wouldn't be a cyborg.
It wouldn't, but
Yeah,
it
it
would
would
be
be
a
a
Greymon
cyborg.
card,
Would
which
be a
would
Greymon.
be
Yeah.
dangerous, because most of the new stuff just interacts
Just says
with Greymon
Greymon.
cards.
Yeah. It would have to say in rule does not count as a Greymon card.
Yeah, so
Just
I don't
like
think.
Doru.
Yeah, I don't think it could be Skull Gray then, because Skull Gray is a Greymon.
Well, what's Craniumon's like natural level 5?
I have no idea. I don't know if
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
I don't know if it
Oh,
has a
BT3,
line.
It's gotta be. Well, it's gotta be like one of the
Is it
cards.
grade? Is it
That's-
Grademon?
I think it's Alpha, isn't it?
I thought Alpha's was Dextoru. Oh no, Grademon. Oh, is Grademon? I don't know.
I mean, the BT9 Greymon like interacted with Alphamon stuff. That's why I assume.
right,
it's
right.
Yeah.
I don't
Let me
know.
pull up. What set was it for us? It was
Craniumon was in 1.5, I believe.
BT3 was the set he came out in, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think he was in 1.5 format for us.
Okay, so the level 5s that were released in this set, BT3, which are potential. We don't know if this is actually his level 5, but it's Giromon. He's like a little weird chainsaw wielding ball. I don't know what the heck that thing is.
I feel like you're going
I
about this all
don't
wrong.
think it's that.
I don't think it's that. Metal Mamemon, Edamon,
No.
and then the 2 Ragna level 5s.
See, I don't think we've had his line.
It definitely wasn't in this set if we did.
High
I think it's 'cause he's
Andromon
a-
is his level 5.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna say it could be Andromon.
That means Andromon and Giromon are his level 4s. And Gardramon is Andromon's level 4.
Yep. And then Higuromon.
Oh, you know what? I think with the newest seasons,
Toy Agumon and
could even-
Higuromon.
yeah, I think with the newest seasons too, you could even like maybe incorporate the Skull Knight family into him. Why not?
I
mean,
think
the
that would
Skull
be a-
Knights are like level 5s.
I think that would be a massive mistake.
Yeah, because you have the Nene, give everything blocker.
That sounds very scary.
Yeah, do it. Crania X.
No, I don't like that idea at all. That sounds
Crania
like
X before Lord Daimon X. I'm in.
that would also make me mad.
I'm
Does it
saying,
even
like-
have an X antibody?
Yeah, all the Royal Knights have X antibodies. Do I need to show you? I had the picture pulled up.
Sean,
looks
just
like
imagine what Craniamon
edge
looks
to it.
like, but just spikier.
You're actually 1,000% correct.
Yeah, he's just spikier.
He's just spikier.
Just
He
add
looks like
sharp
all
edges
of
to him.
the generic X antibody forms is just like
Yeah,
more
exactly.
colors,
Yeah.
more spikes.
They were like, what letter of the alphabet goes really hard? They're like X.
X. Yeah,
Dude, if
no,
we
like
got a
the
Crania X
Skull
for
Knight
Lord
deck.
Knight X, that'd be so annoying.
Tape,
No, I'm not
tape
saying,
some more
like, the
swords
new-
onto him. Jessamon, make those swords sharper.
I'm not saying we have to incorporate the old Skull Knight support, but like give new Skull Knights
You-
that are directly this
would
line.
Be supporting, like, you'd be able to play the old Skull Knight stuff, though. That's the issue. I think you'd be making
Nah, 'cause
that
you
deck
just don't
way
make
too
it Twilight.
good.
Just don't make any of the cards Twilight.
I think a lot of them just
Pretty
care.
sure that's what the
I think
Some of the cards do say Twilight. I think the
Twilight.
Nene does say
the
Twilight.
Nene is Twilight, but I think a lot of the stuff is like just like Nightmon.
just name.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. A
This
lot of
wouldn't
it is
be
just
like-
Nightmon.
You wouldn't be able to like cross play or whatever it's called. Digicross it.
You could
I don't know,
even
just a thought.
it being your boss monster is very scary for that deck. Like I like
Well, I
that
was trying
their
to think of,
boss
like-
monster is kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of what is the negative Lord Nightmon. You know, just have a Dark Knight like counterpart.
Batman where?
Craniamon. Give it DP production or protection as well. Don't
DP
let it get
production.
DP neg.
I think that's red. Red has DP
No, I'm
production.
Yeah.
I'm saying don't give it.
I know what
give it
you're saying.
protection
It's
from
just
DP
funny.
reduction.
Yeah.
Give it protection.
DP production is definitely a red thing. That's one
Okay,
of their.
so this
their things.
Craniamon.
DP
So far,
neg.
this Craniamon. So far, this Craniamon has. It's like Guilemon. It's literally,
Well,
keyword
it's
the
not all going to
card.
be this card doing it. It's going to be its line.
Oh, that would be cool. Hey, you know what would be cool is if some of these inheritables were DP reduction protection.
I got it. The level 2, the Tama. The Tama needs to say if your opponent didn't attack you, trash top card of security.
No.
Balmon 2.0.
Yeah! Could you
That-
imagine?
That is exactly the issue I have with Balmon. It's one of the best cards in the deck. You don't have to draw it.
You just hatch
No,
it.
no, no.
Yeah.
You could
I got
just
you.
play
I
that
got you.
card in
Where's
any
my
black
best
deck.
card?
You could just play that card in
There
any
it
black
is.
deck. That's not no.
Here's-
You can't do that.
I got you, fam. I got you. Okay, Tama. If your opponent didn't
That's my
attack, trash
best
top card of security. Level 3. If your opponent didn't attack you, card your security.
it would
Level
need-
4,
it would
same.
need-
Level 5, same.
No, it would need to be their level 5 inheritable because you wouldn't want to just be able to trigger that like turn 2 because that's just like
Yeah.
super unfair.
Okay, but what if I could just hatch it?
No,
Like
that's
what
my
if,
issue
right,
with
hear me out.
Balmon.
What if I
You know
shuffle
what?
my
You're
whole deck?
right.
I shuffle my
Yep.
whole deck. I sit there and I wait and
Yep.
I go, man, my best card isn't in my opening hand. There it is.
That would be awful.
Let's
That'd
do
be
it.
very
I
poorly
agree.
designed.
Let's make all the Tamas the best cards in all the decks.
I'd argue for the yellow vaccine. It low key is like, oh hey, here's
Why
jamming
dig?
for your 2 checks.
Why dig? Why dig for your good cards when you can just start a turn, fetch?
There you are.
I mean, at that point, just turn this into Yu-Gi-Oh and let us just tutor our entire deck with every card in our hand.
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. Power creep be damned. Just get rid of the memory system. We don't even need it anymore.
Purple
Cards are
doesn't.
just 0 cost now.
Purple just straight up ignores the memory gauge.
Give us whatever one.
Turn.
Give us whatever One Piece has, where you got all those POW cards. You know.
I've never played that game, so I don't know what any of that does.
That card looks so dumb. Yeah, no, I feel like that was a really good thought process for that question. I really like that. It made me think about what Black really needs, and they need to force the opponent to play their game.
Yes, because currently
100%.
they are not doing that.
Yep. When you sit down across from a player playing Black, I had to be careful with my PC-ness right there. I didn't want to say the incorrect sentence.
A Black player.
Yeah.
When you sit down across from a Black player at locals.
Anyway, as 3 white guys on the internet, when you sit across from a player playing Black, you should be forced to play their game. You should be basically in their domain. The problem right now is you just don't care.
Yeah, you
You're
ignore
just
what they're
playing
doing.
your own game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Machine Dramon's the closest we have right now, and you legitimately have to play different when playing against the Machine Dramon deck.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need something of that kin.
Yeah, just not Machine Dramon.
Just not Machine Dramon, yeah. It's already like pretty good right now, and we're getting more support later. So
And I think it's gonna start hindering their ability to make like level 5 cyborgs and stuff like that, because
it does, dude.
any it's just like HPD. Any good card that could potentially come out as level 5 cyborg, you're like, is this good for Machine Dramon? That's like a lot of people's first thoughts.
Mhm.
Can I use this in Machine Dramon?
well, let's check the traits. No? Okay, get out of here. You're gone.
Yeah. It's like Greymon Toolbox, but like way worse, because obviously it's way easier to be a cyborg.
It's the same with Metal Greymon. It's just like, oh, is this Metal Greymon's inheritable effect good? Oh, it is? Okay, play that in Machine Dramon too.
And
Yeah,
in you
exactly. Yeah, any Metal Greymon's automatically Machine Dramon support, which is annoying.
go. Which is, I think, why they made sure certain Metal Greymon specify Greymon now, right?
Yes, specify Greymon or Omnimon in name, which was very smart, because that way they don't just like screw us over and don't give us good cards, because it would indirectly support Machine Dramon.
Yeah.
So that was smart.
Yeah, that was, I like that. Good question. Give us more like
good
that.
question. What I thought was going to be a bad question turned into a good question.
Just because we really want Black to actually be a playable color.
No, because
it
it
would
just
be nice.
shows us that we can do Bandai's job better.
Ugh. Yeah, we do it for free, too. We don't get paid
Yeah.
for this.
I feel like some competitive players would really help their R&D team.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah, like I fully expect to go into their testing labs, and it's just a bunch of like brain dead monkeys all hyped up on Red Bulls playing cards, and they're like, that monkey really likes that Agumon card. Just keep playing more of those.
No, they have a big like board on the wall. And It's got one of those spinners, and it's like 95% of it's Agumon, and then in a tiny little sliver, just anything else, and they just spin it, and it keeps landing on Agumon.
Man, I feel like it's been landing on purple quite often recently.
Yeah,
Hey,
somebody in there.
Speaking of which, I've been saying that Beelzemon's still a deck. I watched Tyler, who like hardly comes to our locals. He does come every other week or something like that, and Will gave him a random. Will gave him his like Beelzemon deck, and he only had one. What's the level 7
He built
Blast
mode? Yeah, Will only had one blast mode in there because he randomly took out the other one for some reason. And watch Tyler stumble his way through winning some games because the deck is so inherently good. Like, this is not like a top tier player. Like, he's a good kid. He's a decent player, but like he doesn't play all the time. So
yeah,
like,
he doesn't play very often.
Yeah, so like literally I was sitting next to him and watching him stumble his way through like winning, and seeing so many times I'm like, oh, he could have just won this entire game if he just did this and knew the deck better. And I'm just sitting here watching, I'm like, oh my god, like I said, this is just a deck that got overplayed, so no one wants to play it anymore. But if someone was to sneak it into like a locals or like not an ulti cup, obviously, because you can't play it there,
Yeah.
but like into like a big tournament, and people just don't expect it, it will win. It could kick your butt. Like
It's
I was watching him stumble through this, and I'm like, dude, if you just played this like a little bit better, you're like winning a lot of these games.
it's literally Finra Lugomon, except for it doesn't matter if your opponent plays into it. Like
Yep.
it has an inevitability about it as long as you know the combos and stuff.
Like the problem is people see shiny new, so they pick up shiny new and they drop what still is working.
Yeah,
It's just a mindset thing.
I hated playing against Ben, playing against his Beelzemon deck, because he was so good with that deck sometimes. Like if he got lucky, because it is a little bit of a luck deck, because if your first couple mills just hit you into way more mills, and they go from like milling 2 cards to like 5 to 8, you're just like, oh my god,
Or
this
they
like
see
against a
Iron
good
Mako.
player. Yeah, and it's like, good player, yes, okay, so I've lost.
Yep.
Yeah, that was actually the deck that Ben he got his nationals invite with, and I think he top 8'd the ulti cup with Billsmon as well. I think that was after it got hit. After it got hit, he was playing a nerf version and he got top 8
Wow.
with it.
They hit the wrong card. We all agree with that.
Yeah, Iron Mako's the
Iron
best card in
Mako.
that deck by a country mile. Like that is way too good.
I think I might have been playing Tyler over Caleb, because I watched their game, and Caleb ended up beating him because he doesn't have a second blast mode, and he was literally, all he needed to do was draw the second blast mode, and he's looking through his hand, and he asked Will, like after the game, he's like where's your second blast mode? And he's like, oh, I replaced it with this card, and it's a card in his hand. So I'm like, if that's blast mode, he just wins.
He just wins.
Yeah, he would have won forever ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that deck is
taught me-
still extremely good.
Yeah, nothing taught me the disparity between a good Beelza versus a bad Beelza than the Atlanta trip. Because round 1, I slapped Beelzemon so hard, and the guy just like very clearly
Good
he
match, good matchup. My deck does good against this.
Mhm.
Yeah, he very clearly was like, "Oh, this is the tier 1 deck. I'm bringing the tier 1 deck." Didn't put much thought into it. The second round, when the dude milled the at the time like $400 Beelzemon, I went, "Okay, I've lost this," and I got 2
Problem.
He's invested.
Problem.
Yeah, that deck is very complicated to play optimally.
Yeah,
It's easy to
Long
like
moving
bumble through your turns, not unlike Brandon
knowing
playing
when to
Finn,
mill.
and still potato your way through wins. But if you're playing it
Analog
optimally,
too.
it's complicated.
Yeah, analog U2.
Yeah,
Like another way is to tell like how they play their trash. You know, it's like, okay, they're all like super neat and organized. Like, oh my god, he's used to this. He knows exactly how to set up his trash.
yeah, dude. Been looking at his trash
zigzag
playing
pattern.
Billsmon, just like constantly, just like moving stuff around.
Yeah, he'd like take a card out and then replace
He
it. With
replaced
another
it so
one,
it's always
like
rows of 5. Yeah,
Yep.
God, it's like art.
yeah, yeah. That deck is super broken still. A lot of people don't play it anymore.
Yeah, could you imagine if just like it was just Beelzemon and Fenrir Lugomon just everywhere?
Oof.
I mean, it literally could be, obviously, but people just want to play new stuff, thank God.
Yep.
Yeah. That's why BT14 wore Greymon season he play.
Will's trying to make it work. He wants those cards to work so much. Him and Caleb.
They're
Dude.
trying, man. They're keeping it going.
It felt so strange playing most of the support. The only support I was not playing in my Greymon Tribal deck in the Ultimate Cup was the Greymon. Because that card's just like unplayably bad.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just bad.
yeah, but I was playing literally everything else. Like I was playing 4 of the Tai, 4 of the Agumon, 4 of the Metal Gray Ace, and then 4 of the War Gray.
You talking about BT14 tie?
Yes. It lets you keep turn when you attack with your Secret War Greymon.
Yeah, I guess.
And you have access to EX1 Greymon, so you can play them for free when you swing.
Okay, that makes more sense. I just thought you'd maybe play. No, yeah, I guess you couldn't. Never mind.
Yeah, you don't have access to
gonna
much
say-
else, man.
I was about to say all you really have is these BT1.
Yeah, BT1
that's
tie,
it, right?
Starter Deck 15 tie, which is the memory setter that I was playing.
The other memory setter. Yeah, okay.
And then BT14 tie.
BT14. Okay. Makes sense.
You have Taikami a V-Tamer if you're, about that life, but
Yeah, if you're about that life, yeah, playing Digimon.
you could play it for free off of the
free? Oh, free?
God.
We do love free.
Yeah.
It's free real estate.
Speaking of purple.
Yeah, we get everything for free. Hey, let's play 4 bodies for free. Why not?
So stupid.
Attack DNA.
Attack DNA. Ben was so upset that I went through both Chimeras and like 2 different Fenriluga stacks in 1 turn and OTK'd him. And then he 2-0'd me immediately afterwards and was still upset I OTK'd him in that game 1.
I think he was just amazed that the deck is that powerful, despite him playing it a lot. Like, it's just crazy. The ceiling for that deck is just off the charts.
I've seen so many lists only run 1 Chimeramon. And it's like, no, because you can Chimeramon after you go into your first Chimeramon by Fenriluganing and getting 2 more bodies to Chimeramon again.
I mean, you're kind of in a win more territory like that, but...
Yeah, I mean, I only play it because I want to see it more often.
Wow.
As you
Ben will be like, no, just play it out. You got this. You might still come back.
Oh, he got to do that to
like
was
5. It was me.
Yeah, it was
me.
Brandon.
My man's sitting there with like 5 checks on the board. I have no security, but I have a few bodies on the board. So he wants to clear my board and then swing for game.
Yeah, so,
like, dude was trying to style on me like it's some kind of JoJo's.
So Brandon scooped his cards up and like had his stuff like in his deck box, and Ben's just sitting there going through his turn.
I was like, go fish for yourself. The game's over.
Yeah, you got this.
This is why Deshaun doesn't come back anymore, Ben.
I mean, Deshaun had the option of also scooping up his cards. He just listened to Ben when Ben was like, "No, play it out. It's not a guarantee. I could check.
100% guarantee.
I could check something in security."
Me knowing I play no removal in this deck because it's all gas.
Yeah,
my removal is my gas.
Yep.
I don't play 3 Rivals Barrage. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah, that's when I know to scoop is when I'm playing lists that have no removal and my opponent has lethal on board. I'm like, they're obviously going to swing with everything, so like we can just go next.
This is Jover.
Yeah, this is 100% Jover.
Speaking of Jover, I think this episode's Jover.
I agree. I'm very hungry. I haven't eaten breakfast yet.
Yeah, and I'm
1 o'clock.
When would I have eaten breakfast? I told you I woke up and immediately showered, then hopped on.
I was gonna say me and Brandon, we did your whole morning. You woke up, you took a shower, you took the doggies out, you ate breakfast.
No, I did not eat breakfast.
Yeah, you had a protein bar, right?
No, I haven't eaten anything. I've
drank some Powerade.
I drank a Powerade that has no calories in it, and took a BC powder. That is the equivalent. That's the entirety of what I've had today.
You're good. Hey.
Bro, I can't wait to eat some pancakes.
Making pancakes.
Pancakes sound really good right now, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
How do you pancakes or waffles?
It depends on my mood. I don't think I prefer one over the other 100% of the time.
You have to pick one. Don't give me that.
I just told you that I'm not going to.
Don't give me the Emma answer. Don't give me the Emma answer. You pick one. You get one or the other.
So
wife out of this.
So here's my answer. I refuse to pick one. How's that for me?
Oh my god.
That's not an Emma answer because I feel like you probably bullied her into picking one.
Waffles.
Yeah, right.
Waffles are clear. Let me explain why. Okay, the butter and the syrup. You get little pockets of it, and it's so good. And it's just pancakes with abs.
Yeah, I mean it's crunchy pancakes. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. I think they're both good. It just depends on my mood. Yeah. But waffles are really good.
If somebody goes, "Hey, would you rather go to IHOP or would you rather go to Waffle House?" It's like, I don't care. I'm still getting some good breakfast food. Take me to either one. I don't care.
I don't really get waffles from Waffle House very often anyway. I get like the other stuff.
I get the chocolate chip pancake or waffles, and those things are good.
I'll give pancakes this. I'll give pancakes this. I love rolling up everything into the pancake and eating it that way. Like it's like a little burrito.
our father, he used to make the most amazing pancake burritos. Like, he would wake us up first thing in the morning.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
he had this
Sean.
big
Oh
pan.
yeah.
He had this big pan.
Okay, so it was a
and he'd make
giant
very-
pancake.
Yeah.
So I'm imagining
So
like
he'd make a
standard
relatively-
pancakes and you being able to like half roll some. It'd be like a taco basically.
So basically,
That would
he
still be
take
good.
the-
Imagine like a sausage and a hash brown rolled up in there.
Yeah. So you get this really big pan. He made a pretty thin pancake.
Really,
he would put
really
all the
thin
toppings in it.
pancake.
Not a crepe, but like it's definitely got some.
Just say you
thickness
like
to
really
it.
thin pancakes.
They're really thin pancakes.
Ricky Booby. So anyway, and then he would roll it. It wouldn't be like
I forgot
folded
about
or anything like that. Like you wouldn't fold the bottom or anything, but it would be rolled in, and then you'd put your syrup and stuff on top, all your toppings, and inside would just be eggs,
Oh.
bacon, sausage, hash browns. God, that is one of my fundamental childhood memories.
I mean
is him
that sounds
coming in the
super
room.
lit, and like
Yeah.
it is actually killing me because my stomach is like in pain right now. Like I'm really hungry.
Yeah,
All
used
right,
to
then we
take,
can end it.
I used to take little Eggo waffles and make
Quit
breakfast
torturing me,
sandwiches out of
Brandon.
those.
I'm hungry.
Oh, I just got a cramp.
Nobody wants to sit here and listen to you talk about pancakes with abs.
I'm leaving it
okay?
in. I just want you to know that
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I will.
Because people will comment down below if they like pancakes or waffles more.
Yeah.
It gets the people going, Brandon.
I'm not gonna say that because then everyone will know I really meant the other thing.
Yeah. That's why you're single. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that's why.
Wow.
All right, boys.
All right.
All right. Later, guys.
Boy.
Later.